best payment options that fit my budget.
Do you have their number?
Sure do. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049.
Why pay more for auto insurance? Acceptance Insurance has offices in your neighborhood, and one call to Acceptance could save you up to 30% on your car insurance. 800-606-7049. Let Acceptance shop for you by comparing and finding the best rates. You could save up to 30%. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049. Restrictions apply based on Q1 2024 study of Acceptance Insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number L012294.
Yeah, we're not even going to pretend. This is a straight-up bribe. We're talking $1,000 in your hand. Use the cash to pay off that credit card you forgot about. Take a trip. Or buy some indica-dominant hybrid known for its body-numbing effects. Because weed is legal in Florida, right? Anyway, bottom line, we want you to listen to Real Radio, and you want money. So here's the deal. 13 keywords a day. Enter them at realradio.fm. And here is the important part. Answer your phone if we call. We're shameless. You're broke. Let's do this. This national contest brought to you locally by Mills Air.
Mills Air, been in business since 1992. That's over 30 years. Carrier factory authorized dealer. Rebates up to $1,275 for brand new Carrier units. Turn to the experts. Carrier. And you can always turn to the experts at millsair.com.
Men. Trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Premier Men's Medical Center restores your sex life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate erectile dysfunction and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To restore your sex life in just one visit. Call now. 407-337-5569.
Insurance companies often play tough, offering you the bare minimum for your injuries. But why settle for less? With me, Mo DeWitt, your Orlando injury attorney, you pay nothing unless we win. Don't let the insurance companies push you around. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.
One of the dangers of buying a lab-grown diamond versus a natural diamond is you could be paying way too much.
Somebody is getting a product for $6,000 and they sell it for $55,000. That's a sin. That's a crime as far as I'm concerned.
IDC owner Keith LeClaire says lab-grown diamonds are being marketed as less expensive alternatives, but the truth is their inherent value is dropping fast due to mass production.
You go try to sell that man-grown diamond back to the market, nobody wants it. There's no market for it.
Keith says just be careful. You need to get all the facts before you take a shortcut that you could regret down the road if the trend continues.
What you're buying is a throwaway diamond as far as I'm concerned. The fish tanks are waiting, and they're going to be filled.
At International Diamond Center, we're proud to say all of our diamonds come from Mother Earth and took millions of years to make and are real, rare, precious, and ethically sourced. International Diamond Center, helping people navigate the diamond industry for more than 40 years.
When he presents that to his future fiancée, you want him to be proud.
Altamont Springs, Mall at Millennia, and Waterford Lakes.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeartRadio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, HAPPY, H-A-P-P-Y, HAPPY. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The three best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Tuesday, April 15th, 2025. Lots to get to today. From will DeSantis remove Mayor Dyer to a bizarre new reality show you won't believe is real. And somebody already got banned from Epic Universe. Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Sabrina is out. Hello, C-Lane.
Hello.
Hey there, Josh.
Hello.
And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. All you have to do is send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch today. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right into the studio in real time. And it is, friends, a Share the Show Tuesday. All right. Yeah. That means you share the show. It's as easy as that. Just tell somebody about the News Junkie radio show, the live stream podcast and radio show that you are listening to right now, no matter where you are. Spread the word. Send a link to thenewsjunkie.com or the podcast on iHeartRadio. How's everybody doing on a Tuesday?
Pretty good. Yeah. You?
I don't know. I don't believe either of you. I don't know.
I'm a little thrown off. I'm a little creeped out.
Why? Why?
By the thing you just sent us.
Oh, this is the new trend, man. I'm getting in on the new trend because everybody for a hot second was taking ChatGPT and making themselves into toys. I know you've seen this, right? Like, it's everywhere.
Yeah, we did it.
It's everybody, including us, is like, make me into an action figure in a lifelike box that has, and ChatGPT.
And then the first thing I said was, let's take it down in the torso there a little bit. Let's
how dare you, ChatGPT.
All right,
but it's so the new image generation in that AI is so impressive, and now people are taking their pets and saying, "Turn my pet into a human." And
I don't think they quite got the assignment here.
You don't think so?
First of all,
it took Lady Dog and they made her into a human, and that
looks
it's
like
a
they made her
time.
into a man.
Dude, he looks like a lady.
That's true. It is a man's body. They didn't understand the mission so much.
I mean, the dog's name is Lady, but I don't know, unless that lady has old hands and is a member of the committee.
It's something, man. That's what everybody's starting to do now. Now, you go over to ChatGPT, you put your pet in, and you say, turn it into a human. Then it tries to make it into a human. We're looking for distractions in this new world of ours, I think. A lot of people are digging deep. So there you go. Have some fun with it. Right now, let's start as we always do. Let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. And we go to the CFP National Championship Trophy event. Yeah, that's right. Hey. What's CFP? I mean, CFP, college football, right? What's CFP? Am I getting that wrong? I might be. There was a big event for the sports world, and Vance was there. It's football because I could see Trump with the helmet, and Vance is helping them with their national trophy. He's got their
college
big old
football
trophy.
Playoffs.
That what it is? Okay,
yeah.
CFP, college football playoffs trophy event. And Vance had the trophy up there, and he got a little, and the trophy, what a piece of junk this thing was. The trophy completely fell apart during the ceremony. He's trying to, keep it down. He picks it up. The bottom falls out, and then they're trying to put it back together. Nobody knows exactly what to do with it. Just put it down. Put it down, everybody.
Look at Trump watching with just, awe. He's just like, oh, my, look at this.
What are you idiots doing over there? The trophy just came apart completely, and then they're, holding only the top part of the trophy. What a mess, man. Ohio State was the team there for the NCAA football championship trophy as the Buckeyes visited the White House.
Now, I told you that this happened to me before.
Did it? Would you try to present a trophy? Because I know you weren't getting a trophy.
Okay, first off, suck it.
Well, suck it. All right.
Clown.
Second off, yeah, we got a first place trophy in a marching band competition in high school, and we were given the trophy,
nerd trophy,
and I was like, I reached up because I wanted to touch it. Like, I'm touching the trophy. I'm part of this, and I like knocked one of the little thingies off, like plastic accoutrements to the different layers of trophy, because it was also a very cheaply made trophy.
That trophy should have a big secret. It should have a loaded gun inside of it, so that the winners can all collectively just take it and
just
Do you know how big a marching band is?
Just big gun. It's like a Tommy gun, and each one of them can just say, "This is it. We've reached our pinnacle as band players. We're out of here. It's all over with." I'm not saying you were a nerd or anything.
Did you win any trophies?
Yes, I got a fishing trophy, a baseball trophy,
in the Aquaholics.
I got
Are these participation trophies?
Not participation trophies, and I was going to say dozens, but that's a lie. I can't say that. I got at least 6 or 7 trophies in my life. Does Fritz on the Street trophy count or no?
I was going to ask.
How many of those do you have?
I only have a couple, I think, or maybe one. I think I might have one, and then Sea-Lane left one of his here, which is kind of like he's got so many Fritz on the Street trophies that he just leaves them around like Johnny Appleseed to just.
I mean, there's still a piece of that room which is kind of my section there. You know,
yeah, it's over there. That's the spot where it is.
Yeah.
All right, we're watching the action take place, the battle here between the Trump administration and their allies, and then the other folks. And now the Attorney General in Florida, for all of our folks in Albany, hey, thanks for being with us today. Rochester,
love you.
Elsewhere, you folks outside of the state of Florida who are listening to the show. This is happening here, I guess, just now in Florida, which will probably make bigger news in a little while here. But the Attorney General of the state of Florida said, hey, you got this policy in the city of Orlando, and if you guys are following that, we might oust your mayor. We might take Mayor Dyer and go, pack your bags. It's time to get the hell out of here. I don't know. Maybe they'll deport him. I have no idea what's going to happen with those. El Salvador. Right to one of those. Right to Margaritaville. Just right there. Just a direct pass. No collecting $200 and none of that stuff. And the mayor got this letter here. Let's try to read this. It says, the Honorable Buddy Dyer. Which is funny because it's a letter trying to oust the guy, but they're still like saying honorable, which, nice.
Yeah, you still call people in death row doctors?
Mm-hmm. Right. You might as well on the way out here. April 7th, 2025.
You don't just randomly start calling death row people doctors.
No, you can't. Just to be nice to them.
I would.
Extra nice on the way out. On April 7th, 2025, at the Orlando City Council meeting, you stated, Mr. Dyer, that the Orlando Police Department will not be proactive in immigration enforcement and will instead adhere to the Trust Act policy, an unlawful and as of 2019 void policy adopted by the city of Orlando that prevents city employees, including law enforcement officers, from inquiring, that's asking, about a person's immigration status. This letter serves as notice that this office will take legal action against the city of Orlando and any city employee or agent thereof that violates the Florida statute. So basically it says you got to follow our state rules in your city, right? The state is bigger than the city. Like the federal government has power to some extent over the states. The state government has power over the cities. And they're talking about Orlando being a sanctuary city, if you'll take that in. And if Orlando doesn't undo this, the penalties that are suggested, hang on, let me actually bring this up so I'm not just making up my own version of it. By prohibiting law enforcement officers from inquiring about a person's immigration status, the city of Orlando is unlawfully implementing a sanctuary policy and blatantly violating the law. The law enforcement must be able to obtain information regarding an individual's legal status to comply with state and federal immigration laws, blah, 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 blah. Sanctuary policies are not tolerated. Failure to abide by state law may result in the enforcement of applicable penalties, including but not limited to removal from office by the governor, right? So that's saying like the mayor of Orlando, as much as he's probably hated right now, a guy who's not I wouldn't think super popular in the moment, guy who, for those of you not in the area, has decimated downtown, is an embarrassment in my view as a mayor. But Still, I don't know if people would want him to be ousted. Like, I don't know if people would go, yeah, we want the governor of the state to step in and say, sayonara, sucker. You're not following the state laws. Get the hell out of here.
Well, it depends on now. It's not really a do you like Buddy or not thing. It's a do you agree with this sanctuary city part.
Mm-hmm, right.
So the fight will just be over immigration and stuff, and it won't be less about Buddy, but still, just a crumbling end to this mayor career, unfortunately.
Yeah, it would be burning out at the end there, huh? But it's Snoop Frog on YouTube said that would ruin our city. Would it? It would ruin our city, he says, if the governor of Florida ousted the mayor of Orlando. What do you think? Let us know. Send us a dispatch or an email to tips@thenewsjunkie.com.
No, Snoop Frog is saying, I hope we do not become a sanctuary city. That would ruin our city.
Yes, so that's an important addendum to the comment there. Yeah. It says, oh, my God, I hope we do not become a sanctuary city. That would ruin our city. I think here's where the city is at. I think that current policy is like, if the cops pull somebody over or arrest somebody, the cops are not in Orlando supposed to participate with ICE, immigrations, and customs enforcement. They're not supposed to participate with them. So if somebody breaks the law, then they don't get on the track to being deported in the city of Orlando, at least, right? So that's kind of the policy. And I think that's kind of weird. I mean, that should be something that you can inquire upon, and the agency should be able to work together. The thing I don't dig, and I want to know how everybody feels about this, but in this law in the state of Florida, if an immigrant goes to the hospital, they are supposed to inquire about their immigration status. And that seems bad. That seems to me to be like, I can imagine somebody at home with like, oh God, raging pains in your stomach or something. And you go, I don't want to go to the hospital. I hear they start asking about your immigration status, and then I'll get removed from the United States because I'm not here legally.
And then you got to start like, going to get, your stitches at the vet, like Breaking Bad style.
Literally like black market hospital type stuff, like different clinics and whatnot. Now, the reality of it is, I don't think hospitals want to be in the business of doing this, number one. And number two, you as an illegal immigrant, when they ask you that status, can just say, no comment. I'm not answering your question.
You say hospitals, but that's a very general term. I don't think doctors who have taken the Hippocratic Oath and are in it for, the possibility to save lives and help people overall want to participate in stuff like that. But I do think the administration of a hospital that's worried about funding that could probably be cut from certain parts of the government or other regulatory
grants
crackdowns would be like, maybe we need to kind of just, inquire, ask these people, if they're legal.
But I don't think they could force the doctors and nurses and stuff to do that. I don't know. Overall, that just feels icky to me. That seems like
it absolutely does.
That seems like a bad thing. Whereas if somebody's a criminal, they're hawking fentanyl in the streets or something, and then they're like, oh, we can't even ask this person if they're here legally. We can't even pursue deportation for them. That's dumb. That's like handcuffing yourself. But attaching it to the hospital part, I don't know. That seems weird to me. But let's get some vibes on this. Should the mayor of Orlando be ousted by the governor of Florida? Is this a pretty bad precedent to set? What do you think? Let us know with a dispatch or an email. And I'm on board for this. This morning it's been interesting to see. I'm not surprised, but it's been interesting to see that already there's people saying the whole Blue Origin celebrity female spaceflight was a hoax. Wasn't real. Couldn't have been any faker, and the video did look mega fake. It's like, even when we watched it,
it's just because of the amount of angles and drone shots involved that they have. I mean, you used to look at space related stories and the space shuttle, and the angles of the space shuttle were not great.
No, it was weird.
Old TV cameras, the cost of.
But at least it looked
real. The cost of maintaining the footage and stuff was so much that they couldn't have as many angles, and that was what real was to us. And then they took this big long break, and SpaceX started, getting into the space game, and now they had these drone ships and these rockets that land themselves autonomously on the drone ship, and then you have the splashdown, and there's a drone like orbiting the area, giving this beautiful shot that looks like it's CGI. It does. It looks like it's too good.
Yeah, this is alleged footage of Katy Perry floating in space. Just when you thought the mockery couldn't get any worse, and they show the astronauts in space.
Guys, I have to tell you, look at the moon. Look.
And their hair is kind of floating around.
Look at the moon.
I mean, I don't know. It looks pretty real to me.
Oh my gosh. Whoa.
If not, I don't know what real would look like. But so quickly, everybody's like, nope, they're not even doing a good job. This is the worst CGI I've ever seen. It's all fake. What are you doing here? So conspiracy theorists, according to a couple articles today, claiming Blue Origin mission was fake, as skeptics claim the rocket launch with Katy Perry and Lauren Sanchez had, quote, the worst CGI. There you go. Tell us what you think. We'll get started here today. Lots of things to talk about along the way. Join us during the show with your dispatches. When we return, I want to talk about, there's a brand new game show that's coming out. And it sounds kind of crazy. Like, it sounds like this couldn't possibly be real. But I want to outline it when we come back and see if you guys think this is a good idea or a bad idea. We'll dive into that. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
There's a serious accident affecting all lanes on Sand Lake Road at Kings Point Parkway. A crash on Aloma Avenue where it meets Balford Drive. Look out for a car stopped on the shoulder on the Beach Line westbound before Narcoossee Road. Traffic slowing down on I-4 through that Champions Gate area still.
Good morning, my skullmikers. Good morning and welcome to the show. How are you this morning? How is everything? Check in, let us know you're okay. We got YouTube on board? I think we got YouTube on board today. We do! Hello, SKB, Sergeant Dave, Snoop Frog, Dan, Dawn, All Day Yuckers, Bootsy, Dispatch Dan. Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome in. A lot of big questions on the show today. I don't, however, believe that the Blue Origin launch was fake. I just think the bottom line is it's a ride. I think that's what everybody should agree. It's a very elaborate and fancy ride. It's a couple steps up from Guardians of the Galaxy. But you actually go to, air quotes, space. Which, it's a ride for rich people. But it's not fake. I don't think it's fake. Last fan says, when will the talking door appear? You never know. You never know when the talking door will appear. Let's ask Mr. Predicto. Mr. Predicto, will the talking door appear at some point today during the show?
It is best not to say now.
Damn. Very mysterious. Like, very, very, I almost question the level of mysteriosity that comes along with that, Predicto. Hang tight. You never know. What do you think? If the mayor got ousted, if Mayor Buddy Dyer of Orlando got ousted by the governor for not following Florida's law against sanctuary cities, bad thing, good thing? Bad thing or good thing? Man, I think Buddy Dyer absolutely sucks. I think Buddy Dyer has some insane views, especially the progressive left-wing views on homelessness that he has embraced. His head of homeless strategy is one of the most brain-dead policy people in that world. Nobody looking for any new ideas or anything that could actually fundamentally change the system and be more actually empathetic to homeless people than what we have now. Brain dead, dopey views on homelessness. But that doesn't mean that I want the state coming in and ousting an elected official, as much as I don't like the guy, or don't think he's incredibly smart, by the way. I think Mayor Dyer may be one of the worst mayors in the country, and I don't think he has very bright ideas for the future of our city. I think he's done insane levels of harm to the downtown economy in particular. I think he lives in a fantasy world and has very radical ideas. But that doesn't mean that I want the governor of the state to oust him because he won. You know what I mean? BDMXCon says, even if you like it, doing a good thing a bad way is bad. Yeah, it just seems like a terrible precedent to set. You know, like if you set the precedent that the governor can oust elected mayors, what is the point even of having mayoral elections at some point? Like, what if DeSantis or whoever was governor, right? Because it could be a switch up and then another party wins the governorship, just says the only mayors that can exist are mayors that agree with my political ideology and thinking. I think Dyer sucks. I hope his viewpoints are, pushed out of office, because I know he's not running for re-election, in the next election. I hope the ideas that are different than his ideas win at the ballot box, not getting ousted. And by the way, I don't think they will. I think somebody in line with his politics will win, because Orlando within the city, like almost every other city, actual Orlando city demographics are pretty far to the left. So I don't see like some Republican swashbuckler coming in and winning that. All right, folks, we're coming back. Here we go.
On the new limited podcast series, Dub Dynasty, we hear from head coach Steve Kerr on how Steph Curry almost never even joined the Warriors.
In fact, I thought we had a draft day deal to end up getting him to Phoenix.
For the entire behind-the-scenes story of Golden State's incredible 10-year run, open your free iHeartRadio app, search Dub Dynasty, and listen now.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, HAPPY, H-A-P-P-Y, HAPPY. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Documenting and contributing to the decline in American culture. This
tier, S tier idea, or just a bad idea. Honestly, I don't know if anybody's going to land on bad idea, because I kind of think it's kind of a fun idea for a television show. But we'll see what you think. I'll lay this out in just a second. Join the show with your dispatches. Where do I send one of those, you say?
Where do I send one of those, Sean?
Thank you, Christopher Dolores Lane. You do it at thenewsjunkie.com. That is, in fact, the location where you can record your dispatch. Here's the idea, C-Lane and Josh. Here's the idea. Tell me if you think this is going to make for great TV. Secretly, for the last 90-plus days, Fox News has kept a bunch of people, 4 contestants, in fact, in isolation. These 4 contestants for the last 90 days plus have had no access to any internet or any media or anything that whatsoever.
Fox News is doing this.
Just for
Fox
4 days?
No. Fox News has kept 4 people since the inauguration. They have kept 4 people from any media, and they have completely isolated them in a bubble. And now they are going to bring them forth for a game show to see if you can guess what Trump did in the first 90 days.
Man, this sounds fascinating and a little pricey.
Yeah, that seems a little big budget, doesn't it, for a Fox News thing? It's
did they put them up somewhere and ensure that they had zero access to anything?
Here's what Mediaite says. It says Fox News host Greg Gutfeld will host a game show next month where 4 contestants who have been kept in isolation since Donald Trump's inauguration have to guess what the president did in his first 90 days in office. And so they'll probably go, did the president or did the president not get into a fight with the president of Ukraine in the Oval Office, right? Or like in the White House. They'll have to go through all these things and see if they can guess, yes, that happened, or no, that didn't happen. What Did I Miss is the name of the show. It'll feature isolated contestants having to guess which headlines about Trump's first 90 days are true and which are false after spending 3 months in complete isolation in upstate New York with no contact with the outside world, no phones, no internet, no television, no social media.
Are they going to make it all about Trump, though? I think there's some other things you could throw in, like some grab bag stuff, like how many plane crashes have happened in the last 90 days.
Yeah. What do you think would be the most jarring thing for these people who have been in isolation for like 90 days?
Ooh.
And then you ask them a question. Oh, man, hang
Val
on.
Kilmer died.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't be too shocked by that. All right, let's ask ChatGPT. Okay, ChatGPT. Some people, 4 of them, in fact, have been in isolation for the last 90 days. They don't know anything that's happened in the United States of America since Trump's inauguration. What things that Trump has done, or just things that have happened since then, would be really surprising to them? All right, let's see what we get here from ChatGPT. Fire it off into the ether with the AI world. There's got to be some stuff that would just knock your socks off, I guess.
I don't know.
Right?
Wait, when is ChatGPT? We know it's not current on the news.
Yeah. Yeah, because this is saying, assuming we're talking about the first inauguration. No, I'm not talking about that. Sean Spicer's first press briefing. Who even is Sean Spicer anymore? Nobody cares about that guy.
Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, we're way past that. There's like a whole different world that came from. Boo to ChatGPT. What do you think, folks? What would be the thing that has happened in the last 90 days that you go, people would get rocked by this? They would go, no way that happened. Tell us what you think. We'll get to that. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com right now.
Was Gulf of America something that was proposed more or less than 90 days ago?
I think it may have been first proposed before the inauguration, but that would have been a great one. The Gulf of America thing. Somebody says stock market down 7.8%. Yeah, I think people could believe that.
To everybody, not every president, but it's happened to both sides of the political spectrum.
Now, if they say like stock market down 50% or something, then you go, oh my God, no, that's crazy. Holy cow. Somebody says eggs shortage. I don't know if that's going to do it. Like, it's really got to be one of those things that knocks your socks off. So let us know what that would be via dispatch or an email to tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Kind of a fun idea for a show, though. I don't hate that. It works for me.
It just seems like a lot of overhead. You have to like isolate 4 people for that long. You gotta watch over them to make sure they don't cheat at the game.
You think they can actually do that? Like, you can't completely isolate people. If I was to take you guys and I'm like, C-Lane and Josh, you're not going to be isolated for 90 days. Even if you're doing like a Mars type experiment, I feel like there's some stuff that you have to say. Like with Big Brother, they don't have televisions, they don't get news in Big Brother world. But when 9/11 happened, they told them that, hey guys, 9/11 happened.
Right.
Well,
and they're like, what's a 9/11?
Said, take a look at this TV
I
we
never
rolled
heard
in.
of such a thing.
We rolled in a
What do
TV
you mean,
on a
today
cart.
happened?
That was one thing where they broke down that wall. I don't think they could keep everything. Bootsy Moonshine says chicken jockey. I don't know if they would understand that. That does sound pretty fake. Like, while you were isolated, a Minecraft movie was released, and kids are going nuts and trashing movie theaters for something called chicken jockey. Would I believe that? Maybe. I might believe that, I think. I might believe that. Here's an interesting back and forth from yesterday. Trump versus CNN. Round one, you had the president of El Salvador, Bukele, I think is his name, who was in there. He's a young guy, man. This El Salvadorian president. He's a young guy.
Millennial, I think.
Uh-huh. And like Trump likes him. Trump likes him a lot. He's a big fan. And it will shock you to know that he's a big fan of Trump, which is probably why Trump likes him to begin with, kind of like what he does. But he's in the White House, and the president of El Salvador is like, well, you've really done a good job slowing down the illegal immigration. And why isn't the news media giving you credit for that? Which he's throwing a meatball right down the middle for Trump. Like, obviously, it's like, what you have done great. Why hasn't the media in your country giving you credit for it? And here's their back and forth.
We appreciate it. Thanks. Actually, what you're doing with the border is remarkable. It has dropped, 95%?
He said, actually, what you're doing with the border is remarkable. It's dropped, 95%?
As of this morning, 99%, 99.1%. To be exact. Why are those numbers not in the media?
Why are those numbers not in the media?
They get up with the fake news, like CNN.
This has the vibes of when your friend and his partner break up. Like, you have a friend and he's like, man, me and my girlfriend broke up. And he doesn't want to talk about it, but you kind of want to egg him on to to fighting or like saying something. You're like, yeah, she was kind of difficult, wasn't she?
Yeah, we all thought you guys were such a strong couple, so frankly, this is a little surprising.
Is there something maybe that I should know that happened? And he's like, Trump doesn't like the media. Why aren't they giving you any credit for this great success, Mr. Trump?
He doesn't want to put them out because they don't like putting out good numbers. They only like putting out because I think they hate our country, actually.
Ooh.
But it's a shame. You're right. Isn't that a great question? Why doesn't the media? Why don't they put out numbers? Yeah, 99%. I mean, it's crazy, right? We're doing it's great. A crazy turnaround. Christy, could you maybe say?
So he says CNN. He called out in particular, and he's like, CNN. I think they hate our country. I think they hate our country. So CNN responded, and here's what happened.
Press conference inside the Oval Office with the leader of El Salvador, Bukele, where we have heard a lot of bits of information.
Audio watermark on this Twitter clip.
A lot of news nuggets that we want to definitely focus on. A lot of
the hell is a news nugget?
She sounds like she's really trying to find her comeback to President Trump. Like she's very flustered by the idea that CNN could be accused of hating America, and she's just not really ready to retort.
Do you think this is like somebody being called racist or something, and you're thrown off kilter? And she's like, "Well, I got to defend myself." Being told that you hate America, most people don't want to be told that. I love America. I think America is a great place. Nowhere else I would want to spawn on this globe of ours. I'm happy to be an American. C-Lane, on the other hand, hates America. This wouldn't even be an insult for him.
Well, but that's but what really happened is that's
gonna get some news nuggets.
I'm actually the most American. I'm more American than you.
All my friends are American, all of them. So she's trying to go around that, I guess.
But we want to digest all of this right now with our terrific panel here and our reporters. Jeff Zeleny, I want to start with you. You are at the White House. Before I get to you, I just want to say, for the record, since we heard President Trump say in the Oval Office that CNN hates our country, CNN does not hate our country. That should go without saying. I've been here for 32 years.
Oh, she's saying, despite what you may have heard, we do not hate the United States of America over here.
She made it sound like she's been in America for 32 years.
Yeah, I think she's older than that. I think she's been here for long. I do. I don't want to age women. That's a bad territory to get into. But I guess she's older than her early 30s.
I mean, you've still gone into that territory. Let's be honest.
What are you talking about? When have I ever done that? I respect women, and I don't ask them about their ages. Unless I look at them
talk about their ages.
The only way I'll talk... No, the only way I'll talk about anybody's age, not just women and men alike, is if I look at somebody and I go, you look like you're an old person who looks like a young person. And then I'll be like, you look fantastic. What's your secret? What's going on? So it's like a flattering thing. to address it and ask those questions.
You look like an old person that looks like a young person?
Yeah. Does that make sense? You look like an old person. So, like me, for instance, Josh, like I'm 43 years old.
An old person.
Then,
you're the same age as that president of El Salvador.
I'm way less accomplished. And I'm 43 years old. But many say I look 20, 21, 22, somewhere in that ballpark. And they'll ask me all the time, Sean, what's your secret? What do you do? And don't be rude on chat. Don't be rude. Yucker is saying Sean is you could age Sean by counting the rings on his hat. Don't do that. That's rude. That's absolutely rude. Because Sean is older than all of us, that can't possibly be true. And they're saying I'm 52. This was a bad thing to get into. Forget it. We're moving on, okay? We're moving on into another direction.
Moving on.
When we come back, we've got to hear from you, your dispatches that are piling up here on a Tuesday, a Share This Show Tuesday nonetheless. And we've got a story about some of these folks who attack the Tesla facilities and the potential punishments that they're going to face and whether or not we think this is enough. Is that enough or is that too much? And we shall see. We'll see what you think about that. This is coming up next on the News Junkie.
This weekend, Real Radio 104.1 smells like the 90s. Classic alternative this weekend on Real Radio 104.
Sunshine-filled warm day. Afternoon highs climbing back into the mid-80s, a high of around 86 degrees today in Orlando. A weak cold front slides through late tonight and into tomorrow morning. That will give way to some slightly cooler temperatures for our Wednesday. Highs back closer to the low 80s before we heat things back up just in time for the holiday weekend. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Rocket. Rocket is giving every home one address. Rocket.com, a single seamless home ownership platform to help you find, buy, sell, finance, even refinance your home. Everything you need, all under one roof. Visit Rocket.com, the new home for all things home ownership. Rocket, own the dream.
Don't wait for hurricane season to get here before you start thinking, I need to do something to protect my home, to protect my investment and my family. Protect your home with hurricane impact windows and do it with my friends at Reese Windows and Doors. Impact windows are affordable. They're energy efficient. They come with that double lifetime warranty. That means when you sell the house, the warranty transfers with it. That makes the house more valuable, and it gives you peace of mind. Peace of mind from a company that has been installing windows for over 50 years all over the state of Florida and beyond, and most of those windows installed in just 6 to 8 weeks. Financing is available, of course, including 0% for 4 years, and for a free quote and to register to win $15,000 in free windows from Reese Windows and Doors, just pick up your phone and text the word WOW to 20129. That's WOW to 20129.
Hey Orlando, Joe Rossi here from Greenway Kia. By now you've heard about the auto tariffs, but at Greenway Kia we planned ahead. We've been stocking up on new Kias at all 3 locations. Drive home the new Kia you want tariff free. Like new 2025 Kia Sorento SUVs for only $179 per month for 24 months with 0 security deposit. We want to see you in a Kia. Visit greenwaykias.com.
Qualified applicants through KFA include $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, $49.95 at inception, plus tax title license, $899 dealer, and $249.50 doc fee. Expires 5/5/25.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crush Yard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at...
Go, Mike. Activated. Folks, how are you doing? AD said, I wish I could make old Sean jokes, but I'd be joking about myself too. Buddy, I don't know, it's just because, if it's only because I'm now 43 or what, but 40 feels younger than I thought it would. You know what I mean? Like, I'm ready to get into my next phase here where I'm cool, cold, calculated, slightly middle-aged Sean. It's what I'm trying to sink into. I love it. I'm excited for it. I'm in a good mood. Honestly, didn't drink last night. Maybe that attributed to it. Sourdough says 30 to 40 in the 90s was different. I feel like it was, but honest to God, I don't know if it's just because I'm older now. So, for instance, when I was, let's say, 20 years old, 18 years old. When I was 18 years old, that'll be better. 18 years old. When I was a teenager at 18, I could look at somebody and I'd be like, they're old, or they're younger, or they're in their 30s, or they're in their 40s, or they're in their 50s. Now, I don't know if it's just because I'm 43, I can't tell how old anybody is. I look at men, women, I look at all the peoples, and I go, I have no idea how old that person is. I'll see a woman, and I won't know if she's 21 or 51. I have no idea. Maybe they're all getting work done. I don't honestly know what it is that's led to that, but I cannot tell how old anybody is. And maybe we're aging more gracefully. Okay, folks, 1 minute. T-minus 1 minute. Oh, great, the long guy's here. Oh, God. Hopefully we get the blower action during the break. Hang on.
New and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
It's tax season. By now, we're all a bit tired of numbers, but here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number, $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
It's time to bring people back into the hiring process. If posting jobs online and screening applicants is failing, turn to the experts. Express Employment Professionals. Go to expresspros.com to find the location near you. Express blends tech with local support. That's expresspros.com.
Join in on the chaos. We eagerly await your dispatch. This is
I support canceling now.
All right.
Yeah, we need more. We need more canceling, actually, just of particular types of people. I'll get to this in just a moment. Join us with the dispatch.
It's not racist, isn't it?
Or it's not about, no, it's not racist or anything. There's just a specific group of people, and I want to ban them. I want to ban all of these people from all of the places. And I'll tell you why in a moment. Send your dispatches in on thenewsjunkie.com or send an email, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. I saw already there's been somebody who's been banned for life from Universal Studios' brand new theme park, Epic Universe.
For life?
Banned for life already from the theme park that, mind you, for those of you who might be outside of the state of Florida, this park's not even officially open yet. It's like sneak previews where you can, if you know somebody, get your way in there. It's a beautiful, awesome theme park. The unfortunate thing is there's a lot of dumb people out there, and some of them have made their way in to Epic Universe, including the guy who's already been banned for life from Epic Universe. He said, they caught me stealing, and I don't give an F. This person got arrested at the theme park. He's on a TikTok video, like a 14-second TikTok video posted all over the other social medias. That one.
Instagram, Twitter, y'all see this?
And you go in and you're like, look at me. I am a spectacle. I have stolen something, or attempted to, from Epic Universe, and now I'm banned forever, and they wear it like a badge of honor. I want to take that person, and since I can't tuck them into a little cannon fill that up with as much explosives as possible, and shoot them at the sun, since I am not legally allowed to do that. I want these types of people to just be banished from greater society. We talked for a little while in, I believe, Miami about Hobo Island. I think the island should not be for the homeless people because I care too much about the homeless people as opposed to these folks, these attention-seeking losers. The homeless people, I want the homeless people to get help. I just have a different view of what help means, baby. That's
you have a different view of where the help should be
that's right.
distributed.
I want to tuck these particular people, not the hobos, into a cannon and shoot them at the sun. But since I can't, I'd like to take these antisocial losers that we all have to deal with and put them on an island. I'd like to put them on that hobo island that we were going to do in Miami. We have surrounded ourselves with this tiny group of people, all right? Tiny group of people. It's maybe like 1 to 2% of the population. If you know about streaming, like these Johnny Somali types, these antisocial losers who make all of our lives a little worse. They make our neighborhoods worse. You don't want one of them as a neighbor. They're just problematic, annoying people. And it's not because they're political. Most of them aren't political at all. They're just losers. They're attention-seeking, antisocial losers. And we should put them all in a cannon and fire them off to an island. That is what I would love to see. The person who goes in and like proudly steals from a new theme park that you got invited to, I would guess, and then brags about being one of the first people banned and says, I don't give an F. Like, what's the redeeming quality about this type of person? I want the governor to oust that person. Can we do that? Like, honest to God, can we have a bit of a shell game going on here where we take some of the illegal immigrants that are actually super patriotic, hardworking, awesome people, and we go, let's take some of them in because we dig them, we like them, and then let's, like, some of these people who are even Americans that just suck, let's ditch them. Let's
send
get rid of them.
To El Salvador.
That's right, yes. Let's send, legitimately, let's send these types of people over to El Salvador, if they'll take them in, and take in some of the people that are like American flag waving, new immigrants, illegal or not, to this country who want to work and just kind of live the American dream. I'd rather have them than somebody who goes to Epic Universe and says, I don't give an F, arrest me. I wouldn't mind seeing that person going forever. Maybe I'm crazy.
Oh, man.
What do you think?
The whole El Salvador thing is really just, they're blowing all the smoke up each other's asses.
Oh, yeah.
There was a tweet from the White House where it was like a little recap of the visit from President Bukele. And then Bukele himself retweeted it and put, I miss you already, President T.
President T.
President T.
He likes them. They like each other because Trump says he'll take in these people I don't want. And even in the case, like there's the one dude that they were talking about, the United States government said they made a mistake sending him, but they already sent him. And then El Salvador is like, well, he's listed as a terrorist, so we can't send a terrorist back to the United States of America. And this dude's in the middle like, what happens to me, folks? And they say that he's a member of a gang, but I don't even know if they've like done enough to prove that yet. That's a wild one to watch. It is something to behold. Meanwhile, after all these stupid Tesla attacks, which, am I wrong? Don't those seem like they've calmed down a little bit, the Tesla attacks?
Yes.
I think that like the people attacking Tesla vehicles and attacking Tesla dealerships seems like it's calmed down.
Maybe they all just figured out how covered in cameras they were?
Maybe they saw that people were actually getting arrested and stuff, and they said, well, maybe I shouldn't do that, because that's the big truth about the world. People don't want to get arrested. They don't want...
Except for Epic Universe guy.
To get arrested, except for Epic Universe guy. Other people want to avoid it. So if you show them that you can't just go out there and LARP around like some sort of revolutionary, if you break into a Tesla facility, you get in trouble, then they stop doing it. One guy, Jameson Wagner, 40 years old, was taken into custody. They said he allegedly was behind an arson attack on a Tesla facility and the GOP, the Republican Party headquarters in Albuquerque, New Mexico. They said they ended up getting this guy, and he spray-painted graffiti, Tesla Nazi Incorporated, and some other stuff like that. He's been charged with 2 counts of malicious damage or destruction of property by fire or explosives, facing 40 years in prison. 40 years.
Woo.
between 10 to 40 years for each count, or 5 to 20 years for each count. So 10 to 40 years total, depending on how they arrange everything. And maybe that stops it. Maybe people hear that and go, you know what? I don't want to risk it to carve something into the side of a Tesla right now. That's probably a bad idea.
Well, the people who are keying the Teslas are not. Are they getting the same treatment as the people who are setting fire to dealerships?
I wouldn't want them to. I think keying a car is a much lower offense.
But in the same breath, I think, like, I made a joke of it, but I wonder, were there not just a lot of people who thought they could just get away with keying Teslas? I think they did. I think if you're not a fan of Tesla to begin with, and now you're lashing out because you don't like the way that Elon Musk is having this much influence over the way the government runs, you may not know that the thing is literally surrounded in cameras.
Mm-hmm. Until you do.
Yeah.
Until you do, and you realize you see people out there getting busted. Somebody sent a photo dispatch over, and it says, Sean Wasson, it's me as an action figure. Ears to the ground, fingers on the pulse. What's in my little kit here? I look a little chubby, but not too bad.
It does look like one of your shirts.
Yeah,
it finally got your face right.
It did get your face pretty good, because we tried a couple and it was not doing a good job with your face.
I look so stumpy, though. I look like a little stumpy guy.
You're an action figure.
It comes with a nose spray, a black hat, lady dog, or Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, and I don't know what this other thing is.
I think it's supposed to be a microphone.
Is it a microphone? You're right. It's a weird looking microphone that comes along with.
Your top half looks bigger than your bottom half. Like
thank you. Oh, you mean in the picture or real life? Which one? I'm not sure. Both.
I was saying in the picture, your legs, like the jeans and the legs, look smaller. Like not.
I look a little squatty, you might say, but do look a bit squatty. I'll put this up. Actually, you can go see it for yourself. Go look on the dispatches section of the newsjunkie.com, and you can take a peek at that. Let's work in one or two of these dispatches. And here is Mo Manji, the realtor. He has a dispatch for Josh, a.k.a. Pinkman, he says.
Boy. Hey, guys. I hope you guys are doing well. Sean, you guys are talking about trophies. I had a bowling trophy for being a champion in bowling, but come Saturday, I kept losing all my shots because of Pinkman's mane. It just distracted me the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, he's got a lot of hair. Yeah, Josh Fowler got a lot of hair, folks, if you've never seen him before. It looks fake. I'll be honest with you. It looks like it's built into that hat.
It is. It's sewed in. I can't take the hat off. It's like Brett Michaels' bandana.
Like an aging rocker that wants to look like they still have the locks right now. Hang on.
Wasn't Coolio's hat kind of that way? Didn't we?
It was.
I'll guess that was the whole case.
Yeah. Yep. Nice guy, that Coolio. We liked hanging out with him.
Yeah.
Here is I'm not a hippie with a dispatch.
All right, but the media calling these women's astronauts, which they're not, unfortunately. The person I feel bad for is Lance Bass.
Mm-hmm.
He actually did the proper training for U.S. And Russia, I believe, and got an award for his performance. And when he came out as gay, they denied his seat and I think pulled the funding for it, if I'm not mistaken. So
really,
he should be pissed. I'm just saying, hippie out.
Is that the reason why they didn't let Lance Bass go to space, because he was gay?
I don't think that would be a thing.
I could see Russia doing that for real.
Yeah.
Like if he was going to go with the cosmonauts in Russia and he's like, oh, by the way, I'm gay, they'd be like, excuse me.
We're sorry, you cannot go to space for you like boys, and you might make love to a boy alien.
They're not going to deal with that. The cosmonauts are going to be like, this doesn't happen over here. That's not exactly a country full of pride parades, if you know what I mean. They wouldn't put up with that.
Unless you're proud of Russia.
Yeah, I guess. I guess. If you have that kind of pride parade, it'll float, but not the rainbow flag ones. All right, quick break. When we come back, we'll see what you think. Let us know. Send a dispatch. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com and hit record on yours right now. I'll also talk about there's a lot of people who have been filming in a particular place, and now there's calls to say, no more of this. This is nonsense. We deserve better than this. But do we? Well, let's explore that. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
Keep an eye out for a car stopped on the shoulder on I-4 eastbound at Osceola Parkway. On the Beach Line westbound approaching Narcoossee Road, there's a disabled vehicle off to the shoulder there on Curry Ford Road. Look out for an accident near Dean Road. Traffic still slowing down on I-4 before US 27 and after State Road 429. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Springfest is going on now at Lowe's, but it won't last long. Right now, get 5 bags of Stay Green Premium Color 2 cubic foot mulch for only $10. Valid through 4/16. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Folks, Mills Air is the best of the best. If you're looking for help and there's a problem with your air conditioner, look no further. They are absolutely the place to go for honest feedback, for absolutely honest investigations into what's happening with your AC. And so many places just don't do that. They know if your mom or if you don't know a lot about ACs, if you say there's a problem, they can tell you whatever they want to. And you'll go, all right, fine, it's the flux capacitor. Not at Mills Air. They ain't selling you a flux capacitor over there. They're selling you what's broken, and they're fixing your stuff to make sure you're up and running for the fairest price possible. That's what they do. Their techs can service any brand out there, so don't worry about that. You could always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you could always turn to family-owned and operated Mills Air. Give them a call at 407-277-1159. That's 407-277-1159. Or find them online at millsair.com.
Skull Mike, more like Bull Mike. Skull Mike, more like Lowell Mike. I'm missing. There's got to be a better run. Skull Mike, more like Jethro Tull Mike. No, that's terrible. It's bad. Hello, Skull Mikers. Skull Mike, more like Full Mike. Don says, is Sean's head really that big in real life? My head is totally normal size. See? Good. Completely normal size. Reasonable, totally normal size. Although I did have a delicious cookie last night, so maybe I'm 1/2 pound fatter than I normally am. You guys fighting? You can tell that Maynard clown that I'm not a liberal, and he's so ignorant, it's disturbing. AD versus Maynard, ding, ding, ding. What are you guys fighting over? Are you guys left and right in it? Who should I side with? Lee Rhodes says, Skull Mike, more like Dull Mike. Nice. It's on the level of News Junkie, more like News Flunky. Bootsy says, remember how calm it was yesterday? Yeah. When it's just Twitch, it's kind of chill. But there's not nearly as many comments. The YouTube people they're just bigger in force. And there's like a lot of pretty political people over there. But that's okay as long as it doesn't get too crazy. As long as you don't just try to completely derail things. Maynard says he blocked me because I said Trump 2028 as a joke. Well, I mean, if other people block you in chat, that's fine, right? Like, I think people are too resistant for muting and blocking. Mute and block people that annoy you. Don't let people annoy you in your life. I have tons of people muted in particular because people just want to get a little attention. And I find that to be very, very annoying. All right, we're coming back right now.
Windows there in weeks. Pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Accidents happen, but Mo's here to help. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, GRAND, G-R-A-N-D, GRAND. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Preparing you for the impending robot uprising. This is the news show.
Woman, but I feel like I know the answer. There's a lot of things in the world of robots that I think people will put up with, and then I think there's going to be some lines in the sand. I really believe that. I really believe that with robots, there are things that we're going to put up with, and then there are lines that we're going to draw in the sand. And there are some companies right now that are working on something, ladies, that I want to know if you'd be okay with. This is what they're working on. They're trying to, because of staffing costs, et cetera, they're trying to create a bunch of robots that will assist in the process of birth. So, like, if you're a pregnant woman and you get into the hospital and you check in and everything, they go, here's your robo-doctor, and this robot is going to, like, get you, like, catch the baby and everything, and, like, you know, trim up the umbilical cord. And
no, the dad does that.
Nope, not anymore.
Robot dad now.
Robot Dr. Dad has stepped in and is going to
How much to go home
over
with the robot Dr. Dad?
That is not in the cards right now, unless you buy one yourself. But I would think that if you asked 100 women, hey, do you want a human helping you out with the birthing process, or do you want a robot to be helping you give birth to your baby? I think like almost all of them would say,
human.
Shut up. No robots are coming into this room. What are you, ridiculous? I want a human being to help me, a human, give birth to another human. That's what I think a lot of people would want in that world, and draw the line on it. Even if it was cheaper, or if there were like some steep discount for the robo doctor thing, I just think people are going to draw the line in the sand at these places. But a lot of this is happening. In fact, there was a story today. It says this baby was born from a robot. Now, this is on a different level here, but it says there was a catch. A baby was just born through an IVF process run almost entirely by a machine. Scientists say it could revolutionize fertility treatment, but not without raising big questions. Of course, there's big questions. A baby has been born through a groundbreaking process where nearly the entire in vitro fertilization procedure, or IVF, was performed by a machine, supervised remotely by a medical professional. They said that this was a method often used to overcome male infertility, which involves injecting a single sperm directly into the egg.
It could be for female infertility too. So
it could be for either. Yeah, it could be for either.
Well, you said male just now.
But that's what the story said. It says this method often used to overcome male infertility, but then maybe they were targeting men too much. They became tired and distracted sometimes, and they said that can reduce the odds of fertilization and births, et cetera, et cetera. But this thing was a robot doing all of that IVF stuff before you got to the part of having a baby.
Oh my gosh, this looks like a game. It says shoot laser. There's a part where it says shoot laser.
It says click and shoot. So what we're looking at, I'll put this up on See It Now, is presumably an egg on this robot screen. And the egg has a very small needle-like thing coming toward it. And then there are controls. And the controls say shoot laser, click and shoot. And there's many other like quick cuts below it, like a fertilized egg, break,
load sperm,
lemma, load sperm.
This is a video
sperm.
game, man. This is not real.
It looks like a video game screen, and it's the robot that is going in and doing, in this case, IVF, which then will put you on a process, ladies, to go to the hospital and have a robot actually deliver the baby that the robot placed in you to begin with.
Is this the whole system called Conceivable? Because that is a great name.
I think it is. Yeah. And like, you're not getting this at home. This is not an app you can download on your iPhone necessarily, but it is kind of the future. And so it brings us back to that persistent question. I'm going to put this up on See It Now real quick. Would you be okay with this, ladies? Like if your IVF process or your birth process involved not a human, but a robot?
But I think some of that stuff, I mean, at least if the computer was doing it all itself, it wouldn't need that control screen. So I'm led to believe that this is done. I mean, the actual injecting the sperm in an egg is such a small thing to happen that you have to have big controls to get it accurate anyway.
Yeah.
I don't see where what we're looking at is very different than what's already been happening.
They said that the doctor oversaw this whole thing. So there was a doctor who was like, it's like supervised the robot in doing this.
Is the doctor watching to make sure that the robot doesn't, the automated thing doesn't screw up? Or is the doctor, turning little dials to line up the needle and the egg just right and then hitting another button to, and then start blasting.
It says run almost entirely by a machine. Would you be okay with this, ladies? Let us know, because that seems so, to use an obvious word, impersonal.
Yeah, but this is not the personal part of the journey here.
Mm-hmm.
The things you're talking about, like catching the baby, that's way down the road. This is before you're even like pregnant. This is the thing getting you pregnant.
I don't trust any of this, to the extent that I just saw on Shark Tank, great show for the kiddos especially, teach them about how to run a business, etc. There was a company that came on and said, we have some of the first in the nation automated tattoo machines. And if you want a star, you can get a star. And you can get that perfect star, because the human can't do it quite as good as the robot can. Get that perfect star tattooed right on your neck. And they showed people going in, and they would pay money, and they would lay down, and the machine would tattoo that star on their neck. I ain't laying down for no robot to jam needles in my neck.
No, thank you.
That's a big, giant no from me as of right now. I am not doing that.
Sound like a bitch.
You're going to do this?
No,
you
I don't have any tattoos.
You're not going to any robot for any of this stuff. But what do you think? Let us know. Go ahead and send to thenewsjunkie.com your dispatch right now. Okay. Actually, we can work in a couple more comments. Let's go to Paul. And this is also for Josh, I believe.
Hey, guys. Great show so far today.
Hey.
Awesome to have Pinkman on. I actually got to see him and shake hands on Sunday at the New Smyrna Beachside Tavern.
Oh, yeah.
Taught me a little bit of Sunday morning coming down swag, and showed a picture of Pinkman to my wife, and she said, there is no way that is the same dude. I said, believe it. You guys have a great rest of your show. Wiggle, wiggle, pop, pop.
You mean based on the voice or based on seeing him in person?
I got a lot of this weekend. I didn't expect you to look like this.
What does that mean?
I'm hoping good.
Yeah, I would think so, right? Like,
we were picturing something much uglier.
Yeah, is that what they're saying? They're like, Josh, when I hear your voice, you seem like a real uggo.
But when I see you.
Yeah, you're delivering on the looks. It sounds like what they're getting at the very least. Our last one for now.
Hot.
Here, this is a first-time dispatcher.
Haute.
I don't know if I should say the name of this person. In fact, I'm going to skip this one. And we'll wait for yours. Send a dispatcher.
Wow.
Well, the person's name is It's terrible.
All right, hang on. Mo Manji, the realtor?
Like, no, not him. His name is plenty fine. It's below Douglas, the one below Douglas.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, come on. I don't have to say anything. Whatever your dispatcher name is, like, I'm going to have some things that I don't want to say necessarily. But we'll take yours. Send it over to thenewsjunkie.com. Speaking of the space stuff, there was some back and forth on CBS. They were talking about space. And there was a woman, first woman in space, I believe, and she was taking issue with one of the words they kept using in their coverage over on CBS. Here she is. Let's listen to the back and forth.
So explain to our audience why even a trip like this one, all the trips that we take into space benefit mankind.
So it benefits humankind, and I'm going to keep correcting the mankind and the man-made and the man missions, because this is exactly what this mission is about.
Okay, well, she corrected them multiple times during this broadcast. When they said mankind, she's like, word Karen.
Humankind.
Word Karen.
Can't say manned missions because this was a womaned mission.
Yeah, you can't say any of that stuff.
Human mission.
Mankind is out, says word Karen, and you got to say humankind, which I think is what Justin Trudeau, that pussy from Canada, said as well.
Tell you what, word Karen. If you're going to be so specific on humankind versus mankind, Katy Perry cannot have astronaut. You can't have it. You just can't have it.
Mankind, as I knew it, and like this is like newfangled nonsense that no one actually cares about, Latinx style stuff, but mankind means humankind. That's what I've always done. Like not man as in man and woman, but man, it comes from human. The last three letters of human.
First of all, human is offensive.
Is that sexist too?
Yeah.
Oh God! Now we say Hugh woman. With a
Hugh person,
they, them.
Hugh person, Hugh they.
If we're in Hugh person territory, I don't know. It's going to be hard to get my points across if that's the case. I don't want to end up on the canceled island myself, but here we are. All right, let us know what you think. Join us with your dispatch on the show. Also, Vox had a story out, and it's about how, I don't know if this is new, but they're saying more and more fights are breaking out in gyms around the country because more and more people are filming themselves at the gyms, which a lot of folks don't like. And the only one of the three of us, I think, Josh, you go to a gym, right?
Yes.
You still go to that personal trainer doing your thing?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Can't tell. It looks like your muscles have actually gone backwards.
They're deflating a little.
Yeah. No, you look great. You look great. But in the gym,
thanks,
when you go, have you seen anybody filming?
Yeah, all the
gym?
time.
It's pretty common?
Yeah, there's always someone, usually with like a phone tripod set up, and they're just doing a vertical vid of whatever they're doing, because it's TikTok. But every once in a while, I see a guy with like a full-on like Sony camera on like a giant tripod walking around. I don't know what they're doing with that.
Now, you're saying guy. Does it seem more common that it's men doing this? Or like obviously more women?
Because it's a lot of women.
As somebody who sees the products of these videos, I'm not usually anywhere near the production or the creation of these videos.
Samesies, yeah.
But as somebody who scrolls through the social feed and sees a bunch of these videos pop by, I think it's a pretty good 50-50.
Okay. So we've got men and women that go into these gyms and they record themselves.
Gymes
that they go into.
Gymnasium.
What is the purpose? Is it for viral content? Are they doing like some OnlyFans thing?
I think a lot of people are locked in on like the lifestyle blogging type thing, like that guy with the Saratoga Springs water. Essentially, like the filming every part of your day and including some workout stuff.
Some of them, I think, it's just like, here's my progress.
Some it's to check their form, but mostly it's lifestyle stuff.
Well, that sounds fair. The form part, I wouldn't mind that, but. Do you think that overall, the average person in a gym, like what about you, Josh? When you're sitting there and somebody else is filming and maybe you're nearby, does that bother you or do you not care at all?
It doesn't matter to me. I have walked in the background of several videos, though.
You ever seen yourself in one?
No,
because that would be kind of fun.
You should try to get like some sort of record for how many gym videos you can just walk in the background of.
Maximum cameo performances.
Yeah.
There was one that I thought was so great. A woman set up a camera in this gym, and the camera was like filming her on this machine she was on where she's like working out her thighs. So it's kind of like the leg spread,
the
leg
good
closed.
girl, bad girl machine.
Yeah. As they call it, right?
Yes.
And there's a guy nearby, and he was doing some exercise where he was like bending over with the weights. And as she is like aiming the camera at her crotch like this, he's bending over and his face is going in front of the camera, like upside down, kind of like picture like an ostrich. Like he's leaning over and you just see like the top half of his face continue to pop into the frame of the camera, blocking her crotch. And I thought, this seems weird. Like this whole world where all these people are recording all of this stuff. But I guess it's just filling the content mines. You know, you got to put the content out there, make yourself viral.
That's what it's all about, baby.
The other folks at the gym have to deal with it, I guess. And I don't really feel like I should weigh in because I'm not a gym person, unfortunately, for Courtney. All right, we are going to take a quick break here. We'll see what you think. We'll see what's happening in your world. I've got an amazing story about that earthquake that came up on the show yesterday in San Diego, I believe. Something that happened during that earthquake that's crazy to think about, and a whole lot more on a Share the Show Tuesday. So don't go anywhere. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Today on The Big Show, it's the first clue for the Search Your Ace Off contest. Plus, what gets left in Ubers? We'll do What'd You Do That's New, tons of great prizes for trivia, and we'll end it up with It's Only Money with Scott Brown from Edgewater Family Wealth. Plus, 4 opportunities for you to win $1,000 and your calls, texts, and talkbacks.
The Jim Colbert Show, today at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's an accident where Apopka Vineland Road meets Palm Parkway. Keep an eye out for a disabled vehicle off to the shoulder on I-4 eastbound at Osceola Parkway. There's a car stopped on the shoulder on the Beach Line westbound approaching Narcoossee Road. Traffic slowing down on I-4 eastbound before US 27 and after State Road 429. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Need new blinds? At Blindster.com, we offer guaranteed low prices, guaranteed satisfaction, free samples, and free shipping. At Blindster, we take the fear out of ordering custom blinds, shades, and shutters so you can do it yourself and save big. Blindster.com.
It's the free event you've been waiting for. The Leesburg Bike Fest presented by Progressive, April 25th to 27th. A weekend packed with high-octane fun and rock and roll. Catch headliners Dirty Honey, Lit, Fuel, and the Marshall Tucker Band. Experience the Wall of Death, Pro Action Wrestling, 20 local bands, and more. There's something for everyone. Visit LeesburgBikeFest.com today to upgrade your experience with Sonny's Barbecue VIP passes. Sponsored by Budweiser, Gator Harley-Davidson, and Giant Wreck World.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Premier Men's Medical Center restores your sex life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate erectile dysfunction and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To restore your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crush Yard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit CrushYard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Future Health Weight Loss.
Get access to weight loss meds like Ozempic, Zepbound, and pill options if you don't like injections from FutureHealth.com.
The meds eliminate hunger and cravings, while Future Health handles the rest. Best results, best price. All online with no insurance needed. Join those losing 10 pounds in their first month. Visit futurehealth.com. Future without the E to start losing weight this week.
Future Health Weight Loss.
Data based on independent study sponsored by Future Health. Future Health is not a healthcare services provider. Meds are prescribed at provider's discretion.
Hey, Russ Rollins here. With Life Imaging FLA, they have partnered up with the Carla K Cancer Screening Fund to assist those who are in need. If you're at high risk of cancer or you're facing financial hardship, you may qualify for this financial assistance for a full body scan for cancer. I started this nonprofit organization, so I think everybody should get that cancer screening. If you haven't tried, you should give them a call. And here's what's great about Life Imaging FLA. They're giving out free heart scans all the time. They've saved the lives of so many of our listeners by them picking up their cell phone, dial pound 250, say the words free heart scan. There's a few minimum requirements, but this is a $699.
Let's go, Mike. Dan said, totally didn't think Josh looked like that. I honestly thought it was C-Lane. Wait, you thought C-Lane? You thought Josh was C-Lane? Like, based on the voice, you thought when you saw Josh that he was C-Lane? Mostly we get people who are surprised that C-Lane is a white guy, which it sounds weird to me just from being on the inside of the show. But a lot of people listen, they're like, oh, C-Lane's white? They thought C-Lane was a black dude. We got to talk about this track meet stabbing update. There's some big updates to that story we'll be rolling out. Josh is going to be doing the next episode here in just a bit. He's preparing for that. Who knows what's going to happen there? Eddie says, I thought C-Lane was Mexican. As far as I'm aware, he is not. But I think that he does love Mexicans. Yeah, I do. I think he's a big fan of the culture. I thought C-Lane was trans. Can you imagine? Oh, that'd be something. All right, we're coming back.
Years after being wrongfully accused.
Explore the latest. Open the free iHeartRadio app and see what's trending now.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, GRAND, G-R-A-N-D, GRAND. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Watching the world burn with some friends since 2007. This
And honestly, are all three people on this show right now criminals? That would be the real outcome of this inquisition, truly.
Oh boy.
We'll get to that in a moment. Send your dispatches. Join us on the show. Record yours at thenewsjunkie.com. So last night was a no-drink night. No drinking at the house.
Same.
But I
Same.
did have one of those incredibly expensive, because I learned how expensive they are, THC drinks.
Oh.
And I know you think maybe had one too.
I had three.
Three of that. And my question was, these are sort of a new thing. Like you go to the liquor store, you don't, as far as I'm aware, have to have any sort of like identification about marijuana stuff.
You don't need a medical card is what you're saying.
Yeah, you don't need like a medical marijuana card. And I think they sell this all over the place. Like no matter where you're listening in the country, you might be able to get these things. You just go to the liquor store and you could buy these marijuana drinks. And Courtney had found some of these, and she's like, you guys should try these on Secret Shows, which we did. You can go check that out over on thenewsjunkie.com if you're not a subscriber. But I tried them out, and I was kind of blown away by how good it was. Like, I thought it was a really, really good drink, basically, without thinking about the other stuff, like the THC that's allegedly in these drinks and how strong it's supposed to be and stuff. And I felt, and I don't know if it was just like a placebo thing or something, but I felt like it worked. I felt like I was getting something out of it. But my question is, if you go and buy those, which I have done, and have had one of these THC drinks, will you fail a drug test after that? Would you come back as like, they're going to think I'm a stoner if I had to take a drug test for iHeart or something? They run my numbers?
iHeart drug test, are those even possible? They exist?
Don't worry. They're not drug testing us yet around here.
Thank God.
But I want to know, if you take one of those, would you fail a drug test? Because it's not the same thing as just smoking marijuana, right? I mean,
correct.
You're drinking this drink. Is there actual THC in the drink itself?
Yes. It's just a different kind of THC.
Yeah, it's Delta 9, right?
Yeah, so maybe the test for employment don't test for that specific kind.
All right, and the Delta 9 type THC that it is, this is like above board stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You're allowed to have that. But is it supposed to have the qualities that get you high?
Yes. There's just no law in the books banning it.
Man, if I was a little kid and you told me, hey, Sean, when you grow up, there's going to be marijuana drinks at the store. You just go in and grab one and you get it and you enjoy it. I would not have believed you at all. Amanda on YouTube says, yeah, Sean, it's THC. Yeah, it's THC, but they're telling me there's a different kind of THC. That's what the question is. And I think you're saying, Josh, like it would depend on if they tested for this exact kind of THC versus what you would get if you just like bought marijuana somewhere.
Yeah, and I don't know if they can differentiate it that way, but that would make sense to me.
Yeah. Oh, and I'll tell you, it was good. It was good. But Night Nurse says, when we tried one at the liquor store, my son, who was law enforcement, recommend not to try it because, yes, it will pop on a drug test.
Whoops.
Says Night Nurse 90.
Uh-oh.
And what are the rules? Like, if I'm drinking and cruising down the road, can I have one of those or no? Because that could impair me.
No, that would definitely, I mean, you felt high, didn't you?
I thought I did, but honestly, I don't know if I really did.
I don't think this is a placebo high. There's actually THC in it.
Because I felt like I was soaring. And then Courtney goes, I don't feel anything. And
she needs more.
She took the second half of mine from me. And she's like, I don't know.
You soared off of half of one?
I was soaring, man. I had half a can and I was like Cheech and Chong at the same time. I was
funny that you say that because the brand that I went with last night was Cheech and Chong's High and Dry. Didn't have much flavor to it. It because it was like 0 calories, 0 carbs. It was very there it is. It's
Magic Mule, it says.
Yeah, it was supposed to taste sort of like a mule, but it was really like when the water is that empty, it's just like the water has an essence of lime in it and just a little bit of essence of weed. But after a couple of them, I feel like it took longer than it took me Thursday on Secret Shows when we did the one that you got, which was called Nowadays.
They were so good.
Yeah, I liked the Nowadays better.
Not a sponsor, Nowadays, or Cheech and Chong's High and Dry. But this one that you had seen, it says right on it 5 milligrams of THC.
Right.
So therefore, you cannot like just pop this open while you're cruising down the road.
And they have messages on the boxes and on the cans on like, hey, this contains this. What did they say? This conforms to this federal farming bill. And it has less than so many % of a certain THC that is illegal, but the stuff that's active in it is fine. Like it's saying this is legal in so many states. I think 49 states or so.
The reason I bring it up, it just seems like a real gray area right now. That just seems, the whole thing seems a little like, whoa.
It's not so gray that that brands and distributors are not leaning into it and going, hey, we're putting our eggs in this basket.
True.
Because we think there's definitely a big enough market for people who want to get off the alcohol train. There's a big enough market for mocktails. I don't know why mocktails are as expensive as an actual alcoholic drink.
As they can.
Yeah. Why though?
No, there's a market for this right now. I think you're exactly right. I think there's people who go, hey, I don't want to drink so much alcohol. I know the alcohol is terrible for my body and for my system. And as I get a little older, I want to try something. And let's be real. Here's something you should know. Didn't realize this until a little later on in my life. Old people don't just chill. All right? All of the old people that I've ever met, they like to do something still. They like to smoke a little bit or drink a little bit, and they do all the things that you don't think they do. Even if they look like the most innocent little elderly couple, they want to get a little high. And this seems kind of genius to me. I don't know if it's going to pop off. Could this overtake like White Claws and stuff like that, or you think it doesn't have the legs to do that?
I think there are people that'll just still want to drink alcohol and drink White Claw or drink whatever they like. I don't think it'll overtake them. But
it's so expensive.
It's an option. But I would rather pay a little more for a seltzer that has some sort of effect than paying a big price for some sort of craft Shirley Temple. Screw that.
Yeah. Right. I mean, it was $26 for a 6-pack, though. $26.
Good Lord.
Okay, you got.
That's what the ones we tried out were. There was $26 for a 6-pack.
That's expensive. That is not what I paid for the Cheech and Chong's. But I don't remember exactly what it costs.
Half a can, though. I was flying high as a kite. What a world to be
3
in.
cans. I was pretty decent.
Yeah, maybe you got a little bit stronger of resistance to the THC than I do.
I don't know. I felt a better buzz from the nowadays. Mm-hmm. But that we were also drinking that night, so I don't know what was doing the heavy lifting there.
Well, folks, if you tried that out, let us know what you think. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com and send us a dispatch right now. There is a neighborhood in Port St. Lucie where they have said, we got a problem. We got coyotes roaming all around out here, and we don't know exactly what to do with it.
Coyotes?
As coyotes are in our neighborhood. I don't feel safe at all, says one of the residents. And these animals, I'll tell you what they're real bad for is if your pets are outside.
Yeah.
You got an outside cat, that thing's going to get gobbled up by the coyote for sure. It's something you got to watch out for. People, I don't know if it's going to attack a person. I think it'll be a lot more rare. But every single neighborhood where you run into these coyotes, it becomes an issue. Us versus nature. What are you supposed to do? How do you handle these things? They seem to be doing just fine, despite the fact that we're pushing into all of their environments. But how do you defend yourself? What do you do to get the coyotes out of your neighborhood if this happens to you? Right now, they say they're giving a voice to a frustrated Port St. Lucie resident who tells WPTV reporter Brooke Chow that she feels unsafe just walking her dog in her neighborhood. She says there's coyotes just wandering around, even during the daytime in that area. We'll keep an eye on that as well. When we come back, the next episode, who's going to be doing the next episode? What's going to be in the next episode? All of that will be resolved and answered, and we'll see if J-Lo is involved. And it's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by MyEternalVitality.com and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James Miguel and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
A breezy and warm Tuesday is upon us across Central Florida. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast. And for today, we are going to be expecting temperatures to climb and soar back into the middle 80s for this afternoon under a partly to mostly sunny sky. A cold front does arrive as we head into the overnight. That will bring with it some slightly better feeling temperatures and some more comfortable air, with highs right around the low and middle 80s for our Wednesday, but back to near 90 by Easter Sunday. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by 7-Eleven. Spontaneous pizza cravings can happen at any moment, so they've got you covered. Get 2 bigger slices of hot, delicious pizza plus a Pepsi 20-ounce for just $5 with 7 rewards. Cravings satisfied. Valid through 4/29/25. See app for details.
Did you know that mortgage guy Don offers HELOCs and home equity lines of credit? This is a way to unlock your equity while keeping your super low 2, 3, or 4% rate intact on the first mortgage. Get cash out for home improvements, debt consolidation, weddings, back taxes, etc. And unlike the corner banks, that mortgage guy Don has HELOC options as low as a 640 credit score. Get a quote with no hard credit inquiry by going to thatmortgageguydon.com.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with thatmortgageguydon.com.
Roundup Dual Action products rock like a hardcore metal band. This stuff kills existing weeds down to the root, and for an encore, keeps them from coming back for up to 4 months. That's a non-stop 16-week tour of killing and preventing weeds in all the famous outdoor venues, the patio, the driveway, the mulch bed, even along the fence. When it comes to your hardscapes and landscapes, the stuff puts on a show. Roundup Dual Action products kill and prevent weeds for up to 4 months. This stuff rocks. This stuff works. When used as directed, always read and follow pesticide label directions.
Allergies are torture, but Exact from Aspire Allergy and Sinus can help you beat your allergies for good. Exact is clinically proven to give long-term lasting allergy relief in 3 injections. That's right, allergy relief in 3 injections. No matter how long you've suffered, no matter what else you've tried, with 3 injections, you can experience relief from your allergies. Exact from Aspire Allergy and Sinus. Go to aspireallergy.com to book your appointment today. AspireAllergy.com.
It's the Hard Rock Bet Battle of the Bets. 2 bets facing off. Winning side splits $250K in bonus bets every single day. Time to pick a side. Team underdogs or team favorites. Team over or team under. There's one way to settle this. Hard Rock Bet Battle of the Bets. Pick a
Let's go, Mike. All right, folks, we're about to kick it into high gear here. We're going to do the next episode, then we're going to open it wide up. Get a little wild. Yucker says, I think you can eliminate coyotes by hitting them with an anvil. True. Allegedly, true. You know, it's weird because I've seen a bunch of coyotes before. And they don't look like physically intimidating. Coyotes are pretty small. It's like a small, mangy dog-looking thing. And they don't look too scary, but I think that they're like the cats of the dog world. Like they're absolute just murderers out in the environment. They're dangerous like that. Speaking of murderers, we were walking Lady last night in the neighborhood. Okay, we're going through the neighborhood. It's a little dark outside because we took her a bit later. Going through the neighborhood, and all of a sudden, Lady runs up to something. I thought it was a toy or something. She starts like kind of getting at whatever this thing is, and we're like, leave that alone. What is that? And Courtney and I stop and look, and it's this little fat-bottomed bird. It's a little fat-bottomed bird, fit in the palm of your hand sized bird. It's a little tiny one by itself. And she was like, we got to pick it up. We got to bring it home. We got to get it safe. And I said, just leave it here. Maybe its parents are around somewhere. I didn't want to take on the load. And there's outside cats all around this street and stuff. And I thought, this bird is done for. But when you engage with a wildlife situation like that, am I supposed to pick up that bird? Like, was it my responsibility as a citizen to grab that bird and bring it back home and then, like, help it out or something? I don't know about that. I'm going to let nature. I don't feel like I should intervene. What do you think? Was I wrong there? Let me know. We're coming back now.
1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
He won't hesitate to call you out when you're being a little ASCII. This is the
entertainment and beyond. And I saw a couple of stories on this today that made me think about something that recently happened to me. And I want to toss it out to you to see what you think. There's a lot of stories out this week about, there was one in particular on the beach, and it was a bunch of birds. And these people go, we were watching these birds in this huge group, and they were all like violently attacking something. So we ran up and we saw that it was like a sea turtle or something. And they knocked all the birds away so that the sea turtle would be okay. And they were like cheering them. And I always think about that stuff. I go, well, aren't you supposed to let nature nature? Like, we were walking Lady, and we're going through the neighborhood. It's dark. And we, all of a sudden, Lady goes up and starts playing with this thing. It looked like a toy was in a dog toy was in the middle of the road. And we walk over there, and Lady is messing with a bird. It's a little baby bird with like a big fat ass on it. And like a almost duck size little baby bird thing. And Courtney goes, oh, we should pick it up and we got to bring it back home. And then we got to like call people. And I said, no, you leave it here. Maybe its parents are around somewhere. And Courtney's like, there's cats in the neighborhood though. There's like cats out here that just are outdoor cats. They're going to kill it. And I'm like, this is nature. I don't think we should be in the business of like intervening when animals are fighting with each other, unless they're like domesticated animals. Like if a bear tries to attack Lady, of course I'm going to do something. But if I encounter a bird fighting a snake, why am I going to do anything about that? Aren't I supposed to just let the nature play out in front of me and let them fight it out?
Yes.
And if so, whose side am I taking? Do I take the side of the bird or the snake, or it just all seems a little weird. Like, I don't want to interrupt.
Well, which one of those is
life.
native to this area, and which one of them was brought here by the white man?
I don't have the brain power to sort that out. I don't know enough about all the different wildlife to know which one should be there and should not be there.
If you have an argument for, I don't even know what side you'd be on. If you have an argument for, we need to intervene and make sure these animals don't fight, like it's a circle of life.
That's what I would do. And this is like when they had the webcam on the Eagles, not the football team, but actual Eagles and Eagles Nest.
Go Eagles.
And everybody's watching around the world. There's this big moment where people came together like, oh, the Eagle webcam is so cool. They got baby eagles on the Eagle webcam. And then one of the eagles started to eat the baby. And everybody's watching. They're like, oh, my God, this is terrible. And there's discussion of censoring the cameras and stuff. And all I can think of is, folks, this is the reality of life. This is just what happens in the wild. And you got to let it happen, I think. Unless you disagree, let us know. Send us a dispatch right now. Real quick before the next episode, somebody sent along this video of the earthquake in San Diego. And when the earthquake was hitting at the San Diego Zoo,
all the elephants. Yeah,
did you see that?
This is crazy.
The elephants all noticed that there was an earthquake happening, and the elephants, like, that when the ground started to shake, the elephants formed a large circle, and they put all the little baby elephants in the center of this protective circle that they made, and they sat there and waited so they could, like, protect their little elephants from whatever was bothering them. It was like an instinctual thing that happened as they felt the earth shaking under them. It was so interesting to see that. There they go. They're like defending and surrounding the little baby elephant, like even trunk to trunk, locking it. I'll put this up on See It Now so you can take a peek while we get into the next segment here, because it's pretty interesting to watch that wildlife take place. All right, here we go. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, and you can't possibly keep up with all of it, even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
Jews always be acting up like this.
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with
me. That's a good clip. Yeah, that's a banger.
Josh just like left a couple of those just on the hard drive back here.
I got another one.
I'm Jewish. I am not, for the record. That's not stolen valor. That was me pretending to be somebody else.
Jewish. That's crazy. You know what else is crazy?
What?
How much that mortgage guy Don can help you out.
That's right. You go to thatmortgageguyDon.com. He's got the compare quote calculator right there. So if you're in the process of trying to find a good mortgage and you think, I could do better than what my bank has told me or what some other person has told me, you go to thatmortgageguyDon.com, use the compare quote calculator. And if you just have questions for Don, you can ask him on the website, or you could listen to his show, the Home Loans Radio Show. Text them in, and they're good at getting back to you. They're great people. ThatMortgageGuyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with ThatMortgageGuyDon.com.
And we go to this guy.
Somebody call 911.
Sean Kingston?
There you go. Sean Kingston just got out of jail in Miami this morning after he failed to post bond.
Oh.
Was he the one that was arrested with his mother?
Yeah, he and his mom, Janice Turner, were arrested on 5 charges. They were sitting at the federal detention center in Miami until just, I believe, an hour or so ago when his lawyer came up with the $100K cash bond for him. He was convicted last month, confined to home detention pending sentencing on the condition he could post that $100,000 cash bond. Mm-hmm. They waited a month. He did not give them the money, so they went and arrested him. He and his mom were accused of scamming businesses out of more than $1 million in a fraud scheme with jewelry, luxury cars, and other high-end goods. Prosecutors say Sean and Janice scored over $1 million in property through their scheme, ripping off a car dealer for a $160,000 Escalade and jewelers for a total of $480,000 in bling, all without coughing up a cent. And as you know, the feds raided his mansion in May of last year, and they're both facing 20 years in prison if they're convicted on all charges.
Wow. Yeah, but they were like putting work in, huh? Could have just made a couple more songs?
Yeah,
one would think.
You would think so, but
he has all that money, and he's still doing the fraud.
Let's have him in denial. In denial.
Mm-hmm. It's just not as good. Suicidal is just so much better in this song.
It is a banger.
You're way too beautiful, girl.
Thank you. That's why it'll never work, though.
Yeah, probably.
Marlon Wayans says Damon Wayans loves to date his family members' exes.
Okay. Is that popular with the family, or?
No. Damon Wayans has apparently been dating his nephew's ex-girlfriend, but if you ask his brother Marlon, he says he does this all the time because TMZ caught up with Marlon at the airport where they catch up with all the celebrities. You can't fly out of LAX without TMZ being there. And he said Damon doesn't exactly cherry pick. He goes after all of them, even a girl Marlon brought over, swearing Damon wouldn't be into her for various reasons, and Damon still found her sexy. Damon admitted earlier this month on Club Shay Shay podcast that he's guilty of stealing his nephew's girl, causing minor strife at family gatherings.
What the hell, man?
So
can you imagine your uncle taking your girlfriend? That would be so weird.
So I hear you're into Wayanses.
That would be so uncomfortable.
So I got you a new Wayans for your Wayansing. There we go.
Mm-hmm. You've had the old bull, now you want the young buck.
Speaking of young buck, this guy.
I got the horses in the back.
Lil Nas X lost control of half his face.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
I got him. I got some video of him. I hope he doesn't curse in this. Have you watched this or no?
He'll only say half the word.
He curses a little bit.
He does? All right, I'll run it through the thing then. I'll get it all censored.
He says, bro, I can't even laugh right, bro. What the F? Oh my God.
Okay. You just give me a moment here.
Okay, I'll give you the moment. He's dealing with a concerning medical situation, revealing he's lost movement on one side of his face. He took to Instagram Monday night from his hospital bed, revealing he's unable to move the entire right side of his face. He did not say what it is or why it happened, but everyone is concerned about him.
It just looks like Lil Nas greater than now.
I get it.
Because half of an X. Yeah.
It's pretty good.
It's not bad.
It'd be
I'm running
better
this.
with a visual aid, but
You want to see it? Okay.
Yeah,
here we go. Here it is.
This is me doing a full smile right now, by the way. It's like what the fuck? Bro, I can't even laugh right, bro. What the fuck?
Half his face is frozen.
he looks like Two-Face from Batman.
Yeah, it's a little strange.
Well, we hope he recovers soon, and we wish him a speedy recovery. Someone I don't wish to recover ever. Tom Cruise is allegedly dating Ana de Armas.
Interesting.
Beautiful actress.
Ana de Armas, how old is she?
She's 30-something.
Okay. Yeah, she's 36 years old. Okay.
Way
All right.
too hot for him. Their romance rumors have reached new heights as they've been jetting to the UK together after a whirlwind hop from Madrid, Spain. They're on a tour to talk about some new movie they're in together. There was no hand-holding, kissing, or PDA in sight, so it could totally be a work
thing. But they're totes dating? There's zero hand-holding?
It's because neither of them have confirmed nor denied the dating rumors. She had dated Ben Affleck for almost a year, right up until he went and married Jennifer Lopez.
Heard of her?
Yeah, big fan. And one asks the question, why Ben Affleck? Why would you do that to yourself?
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully she's not dating old Scientology Tom, but you never know. This guy.
We're going to find out, Jules.
Gronk. Rob Gronkowski is throwing his Gronk Beach Party Easter Sunday, also known as WrestleMania Sunday, in Las Vegas.
Is this separate from the Gronkowski cruise? Are they still doing that?
I have no idea about the cruise, but this is at Club Live at the Fontainebleau in Las Vegas. And the most important question he was asked was, will Bill Belichick be there with his super-duper young girlfriend?
Oh, that's right. Oh, I forgot the age gap they have between the two of them.
It's a big one.
He's 72. She's 24.
Perfect.
Gronk says, Coach Belichick has an invite to any of my events or parties that I ever have for the rest of my life. He will have full VIP, him and his lovely girl, and they'll get as many drinks as they would like, and they would never have to pay for a thing.
It sounds like
Gronk is going to be like, he's going to be the hardest CTE diagnosis ever.
We're going to find out, Jules.
He was already like CTE before he played football or anything. You know, like Gronk is not the smartest guy. He's made some money. He's done some things in his day, but he's not the smartest guy I've ever seen.
Seems like an okay, nice guy. President Trump blew off RFK Jr.'s wife, Cheryl Hines, at a UFC event over the weekend.
I saw this like in a series of still pictures where it was like he shook RFK's hand and then...
Well, lucky for you, we can go to the video because it's even better than the pictures.
Oh, hold on. Did you send that to me, Josh?
I did send that to you.
Last stuff over here.
Unbelievable.
Right. Yeah, President Trump blows off RFK Jr.'s wife. Got the video.
He loves fights. He loves it.
That's Portnoy.
Yeah, Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports. Trump meets him.
He's at the White House watching the fights. That's the crazy
Dana White.
Like, it's just crazy thought.
RFK's right here. RFK gets a handshake and a hug.
It's pretty incredible. That's crazy. It's insane.
She put her hand out and is like, Gee.
She's immediately like, what the hell?
It's insane.
Yeah. And then she just left behind having missed the handshake, which is the only thing worse than this was when we were at the bowling tournament this weekend, the bowling event, celebrity bowling event.
Who did Josh snub?
Everyone.
He didn't snub anybody, but we were talking to somebody who from Chad that you may have seen, Bootsy Moonshine, and she goes, will you meet my son? And I'm like, of course. My son listens to the show. And she brings him over, and I think he's 12 or 13 years old or something. And he holds out his hand to shake my hand, and I gave the worst handshake of my life to a 12-year-old. Like, I went to do it, and then it felt like he was trying to slide away and, like, do a cool handshake thing, and then I missed it, and then I'm like, I can't have you bring your 12-year-old back so I could shake his hand again so I can get a good handshake. That seems even more weird. It was just bad. Catastrophic.
I'm sure he kind of maybe still respects you, but who knows?
No, he doesn't.
And
you know what definitely didn't make it more weird is just bringing it up on the show.
No, I told him directly afterwards. I said that your son, I shook his hand. It was the weirdest handshake I've ever done. I really screwed it up. It was a disaster. Yeah, I shrewded the whole thing.
Unbelievable. And this gal...
Oh, Jennifer Lopez.
This gal's ex-guy is talking about his early-stage dating woes following his divorce. While doing a press junket for The Accountant 2, Ben Affleck got into how his character, Christian Wolf, who I think, according to the trailers, is an autistic assassin or something.
He did a second account?
Yeah, he's on the press junket for it now. The Christian Wolf character struggles with dating, can't flirt, super uncomfortable, and then Ben casually veers into real-life vibes, saying that's how it is for most people, including myself, it seems.
How do the autistic people, the autistic community, how are they receiving the fact that they're getting an autistic assassin? Is that like, oh, representation for autistic people? Or like, you're making us a murderer in this?
I don't know.
We're going to find out, Jules.
We are, yeah.
And on the boob tube tonight, we have Alert Missing Persons Unit on Fox, The Valley on Bravo, American Detective with Lieutenant Joe Kinda on ID, and then Luke Bryan's on Kimmel, and David Oyelowo is on Colbert tonight, and Colbert.
Mm-hmm.
Not on Colbert, but on Colbert. And that is your next episode. Thank you. Goodbye. I love you.
There he goes.
Do the thing, man. There you go.
I was fading into it, you know. I'm a professional.
Look at that. Holy cow.
What was that little song we were listening to?
Oh, that's Billie Jean, but
you haven't
done
heard this,
by
Billie Jean?
a guy.
Oh, it's so bad. A cop pulls over somebody for speeding, but it's okay. They have an excuse. You'll hear from the body cam what that excuse was. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
Keep an eye out for an accident off to the shoulder on US 27 northbound at Ronald Reagan Parkway. There's a serious accident getting cleared up here where Silver Star Road meets Pine Hills Road. Traffic's still slowing down on I-4 eastbound through that Champions Gate area. There's an accident where Apopka Vineland Road meets Palm Parkway. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. It's time to bring people back into the hiring process. If posting jobs online and screening applicants is failing, turn to the experts, Express Employment Professionals. Go to ExpressPros.com to find the location near you. Express blends tech with local support. That's ExpressPros.com.
Sunnyside Electric.
Hello, I need a new electrical outlet.
We are learning about pickleball today.
Okay.
Isn't that a funny name?
What about my electrical?
Pickleball.
I should have called Frank Gay.
Oh, it's like miniature tennis.
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When you need electrical work in your home, you need a trustworthy electrician who can clearly explain how to solve any dilemma. That's the Frank Gay way.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
If you're thinking about going to nursing school but aren't sure how to get started, join us at Galen College of Nursing's upcoming open house. Here, you'll meet with friendly and helpful faculty, current students, and academic advisors who can help you get comfortable with admissions and enrollment. Plus, you'll tour our campus and learn all about Galen's personalized student support. RSVP now for our open house on Tuesday, April 22nd from 4 to 6 p.m. by visiting galencollege.edu/Orlando.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Joe Rossi from Greenway Kia here. Tariffs are hitting the auto industry hard, but we're ready. We loaded up on brand new Kias across all 3 locations. Right now, they're in stock and tariff-free, with interest rates as low as 0% for 72 months. Plus, take $3,000 off any new 2025 Kia Sportage. We want to see you in a Kia. Visit greenwaykias.com.
Stock number SG 292557. MSRP 30,840. Qualified applicants through KFA, 0 down. $13.88 per thousand borrowed for 72 months at 0% APR financing. Plus tax title license, $8.99 dealer, and $249.50 doc fee. Expires 5/5/25.
Spring is here. The perfect season to give your aging roof the attention it deserves. Florida's highest rated roofer is here to help. Experience the Janney difference and save up to $2,000 this season. Join a community of thousands of happy homeowners.
To go ahead and do it right the first time so that you don't have to hire another company to fix what the company should have done right. And I feel like that's Janney Roofing.
Get started at JannyRoofing.com.
Offer only applies on full roof replacement and expires May 31st, 2025.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Want to win $15,000 in new impact windows from Reese Windows? Pick up your phone and text the word WOW to 20129. That's WOW to 20129.
It's Ram Truck Month, where right now at your local Ram dealer, well-qualified current Chevrolet, Ford, or GMC lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Quad Cab 4x2 for $369 a month for 42 months with $3,999 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-877-RAM-5722 for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Stellantis Financial. No turn-in of competitive vehicle required. Extra charge for miles over 35,000. Not all customers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 4/30/25.
Warning. If you're thinking about surgery to fix your chronic joint pain, stop, because surgery can be risky, painful, and come with a lengthy recovery time. But there is an alternative, a groundbreaking therapy that revitalizes damaged tissue with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. QC Kinetics has successfully treated tens of thousands of patients, freeing them from pain in their knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints. Before you resort to invasive surgery, find out if you're a candidate for this advanced regenerative therapy by calling 689-314-7578. Don't let chronic pain dictate your life any longer, and don't risk surgery. Learn more about the joint pain therapy endorsed by professional athletes and available now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. To find out if you're eligible, request a free consultation from QC Kinetics. You owe it to yourself to learn more about this surgery-free alternative with no drugs and no downtime. Call QC Kinetics today, 689-314-7578. 689-314-7578.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover's accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crush Yard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Think orange for your next vehicle. OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. From car accidents to personal injury cases, Mo has you covered. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeartRadio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free, new and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Now is your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Check. 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 That's check. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm. Good luck.
Real Radio 104.1.
He won't hesitate to call you out when you're being a little asky. Hey guys. This is
your emails, all of that good stuff. It's all important to the show, honestly. It's what keeps things flavorful and different around here. And if you've never sent it to dispatch before, maybe today's the day. Go over to the website, thenewsjunkie.com, and record yours now.
So
Here's a crazy story for you. Yes, it's flavorful. See, like different opinions. It's like a stew that we're building
I
here.
was agreeing with you, man.
And we're stirring around the stew just like this, stirring that pot. And then we flavorful. It's what we're headed for in the end.
Flavor Town.
Yes. It's highway to Flavor Town. We're definitely on that road right now. Okay. What would you do in this circumstance? It's pretty crazy to me. There's a basketball player that may go to jail over a game that they were playing. High school basketball player is playing this game, and one of the opposing players, he hits him in the nose a little bit. Pop, gets hit during the game. You've seen this kind of stuff before. And the basketball player that got hit in the nose, his mom called the cops after the game. And when his mom called the cops started investigating, and it went from like some sort of penalty on the basketball court for this high school player to actual felony charges in a courtroom.
She's alleging that this happened on purpose on the court, right?
Yeah. She's saying like this was intentionally done to harm somebody.
So who, if not the mother, whose job would it be to press charges for something like that? Like, would anybody else, like, should they have been required to get involved? And, like, if she calls the cops, do the cops have to come in and, like, stop play to question this kid?
Yeah, I think it was after the game. The game had wrapped up. We'll get some more details in a second. BDMX Con says that's part of the game. Insane.
Not if you intentionally throw a punch.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how far it goes. Here's the story. Harmon basketball player charged after allegedly breaking opposing player's nose. A Harmon school student is being charged as an adult because he's 18 years old.
Josh, didn't you go to Harmon?
No, I went to Harmony.
Oh, one letter off.
After he deliberately swung his elbow at an opposing player and broke his nose. So the nose got broken, which is some damage done. On February 27th, the West Virginia State Police received a phone call from a woman who claimed her 17-year-old son had been assaulted at a basketball game that evening. The woman said her son was elbowed in the face by a Harmon player identified as Gage Ketterman, and her son had to go to the hospital. He was bleeding profusely, et cetera, et cetera. They ended up charging this kid as an adult because he's 18 years old. And Ketterman got hit with 1 count of malicious assault and 2 counts of attempted malicious assault. All this for something that happened during the actual basketball game. And G80 says, oh, my God, people are so damn soft over on Twitch or YouTube, rather, responding to this. Is that the case? I mean, there's got to be limitations here, but let's see what happened. Let's go to this report here from Channel 12.
Here tonight with a developing story just into the 12 newsroom as a Randolph County High School boys basketball player faces felony charges regarding an incident at a game earlier this year. Good evening and welcome to 12 News at 6. I'm Eric Miner. Now, state police tell us it happened February 27th in a game between Harmon and Union High Schools when state police say 18-year-old Gage Ketterman, a player for the Harmon boys basketball team, elbowed a player on the opposing team in the face on purpose. The boy was sent to the hospital with a broken nose. Troopers say that was bleeding profusely for several hours. According to court documents, Ketterman intentionally struck the boy and was also seen striking other players in the back of the head.
Oh, so he hit other players too.
I mean, it's going to come down to who has footage of this. There's probably not as much as there would be at a basketball game on a higher level than high school. Because it's really hard to prove intent, and if it's just a casualty, if you could argue that it was an accidental casualty of the basketball game itself, then I don't think that would be something pursuable legally.
Yeah, the only problem I really have with this is that what if this kid goes to jail? And then now every basketball game or every sports interaction on a high school level, you're looking at it and going, well, should we charge this kid? Or was that just gamesmanship? Moving around, angling yourself, and somebody gets hit with an elbow. Is it a crime we're seeing, or is it the game? That seems kind of hard to work in that space, I would think.
Well, I mean, how does it work legally when you do like a boxing match? Like you get a license for the match with the gaming commission.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, once you put these guys in a ring, the fact that they're hitting each other is totally legal?
Yeah, because that's the game. That's what they are engaging in.
Right.
They're going to box each other. They're going to punch each other. But in basketball, even though you're going to play each other, you don't expect that somebody's going to break your nose. But you're still engaging in a physical activity.
There's a level of fighting that's sort of like excused in hockey.
Mm-hmm.
So why is it not the same in basketball?
Well, MPWS says anyone saying it's okay doesn't play basketball. So he's saying, like, if you play basketball and you see this, you wouldn't think this was okay. Dan says the officers reviewing the footage determined that Ketterman's actions appeared intentional and criminally malicious. You'd really have to have a clear shot of him, like, purposely just punching somebody, as opposed to like angling himself and an elbow goes flying back, I would think.
Maybe they do, and we haven't seen that yet. But then
they could.
The last part we just heard before we started discussing this was that he was also hitting other people. So if he's just going around throwing punches willy-nilly, then he's going to be much more likely to have those charges stick on him.
All right, here's the important part. This is from WV News. Game video was provided.
WV. Hello, my baby. You know the WV.
Not the WB.
Oh,
the
Michigan
WV.
J. Frog over here.
All right. WV Metro News says this. Game video was provided to police. The criminal complaint filed by the victim's mother said the actions of the boys were obviously intentional. He was trying to hurt people. Police reviewed multiple clips from the game, one where Ketterman, quote, placed both his feet firmly on the floor. All right, so both his feet like firmly on the floor, reared back and swung his elbow directly into the face of the victim. And another that showed Ketterman swinging his elbow wildly and striking the back of the head of the same player. A third clip reportedly showed him swinging his elbow toward the head of a different player on the same team. But is the swinging the elbow around part of the game? That's the biggest question on this one. Let us know what you think. Send us a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com.
Had the whistle been blown? Or
I don't know.
Were they in play?
It really comes down to that footage because let's say all three of us, myself, C-Lane, and Josh, are playing a basketball game. If I come out with the story...
What are we in, Bizarro Land?
Yeah, we are in definitely
Is this
Bizarro
some sort
Land.
of weird science fiction Bizarro TV show on the WWW?
Oh, God, here we go. Josh is obviously the last man standing because C-Lane and I have died during this game. But
naturally.
But did he beat us up?
If Josh goes, look, I was just playing on the court and those guys got bested and that's not my fault. And we watch the footage and Josh is just punching our skulls in with his fist, and we've obviously left the game of basketball and entered a beating, then I think that should be something that you'll be charged for.
Is the footage available there? Is it part of the news story?
I haven't seen it just yet. I've only seen the story from a couple of sources, none of which had like a compilation of the alleged like swings from this person. Here's what he looks like. Here's Gage Ketterman, 18 years old, being charged as an adult in this case. He's the one who's charged, but we don't really have. I see a still frame. Hang on, I'll bring this up a little closer so we can examine to try to see if that looks like it's very, very bad.
Okay, it's very hard to see.
Yeah, this is the best we got.
Oh, because they blurred the faces too.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that he's throwing an elbow. He's definitely throwing an elbow at the opposing player here. But I would still need to see more than that to determine whether or not this was out of line.
That's the one where the kid got hit in the back of the head, it looks like.
Yeah.
That's not the nose breaker.
No, but he's now facing charges, may spend time in jail for this basketball player. All right, we got your dispatches coming up in a moment. First, I tease this. Here we go. A person gets stopped by police, clocked going 105 miles per hour in a Tesla, but this is not the Tesla story you think it is. Here's what happened.
Whose wedding is it? It's mine.
What time is it?
It's 2:30.
Where at?
In Stewart at the courthouse.
Hey, you're already late.
We trying to get
He's trying to get to the wedding. She's in her wedding dress in the passenger seat. He's in a tux, and they get busted by the cops at 105 miles an hour.
In a minute, I'll let you take her, but I'm going to give you a court date. It's a mandatory court appearance.
Thank you, she says. Can't do that.
Wait, a notice to appear, like mandatory appearance, isn't that kind of a paper arrest?
I think so. Because 105.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's.
Yeah. 105 and a 45, right?
That's felony speeding, I think.
Yeah, but they still let him go.
Couldn't knock it down for the wedding day. Man, that is. On the other hand, though, that is a beautiful shot on that body cam.
It's not bad.
Did you see?
I'll bring it back. Yeah. Just for those folks. You can watch the show on Twitch.
It's mine.
Crystal
clear.
clear.
That is a good-looking body cam right there.
Where at?
In Stewart.
How do we have body cams with this level of quality, but then still you go into 7-Eleven and the security footage is like straight up Potato City? We need to get body cams in the roof of the 7-Eleven. Only way to fix this, I think. Last thing here, and this is also astonishing. I'll put this up on See It Now. Thought it was kind of amazing. Recently, there were some pretty bad floods in Tennessee, and somebody got this overhead footage of a family that dug their own levee. And talk about close calls. It looks like a stamp in a flooded field, and there's one house, because they built up these levees at this place, one house that is untouched by the floodwaters that gobbled up everything else around it. Kind of genius, if I'm honest with you.
So
they were able to do this.
They didn't use the thing from last time, like that aqua dam?
No, they said they dug their own moat kind of thing around the edges.
That looks like it has to be more than a moat.
Yeah, it would have taken some real work to do this. They dug out and around their house and made a makeshift levee, and it protected their property, the only property in the area that wasn't completely consumed by these floodwaters. And I got a screenshot of this, and I'm popping it up right now since it's a visual over on See It Now at thenewsjunkie.com so you can take a look. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have an update, and a big one, very interesting update on the story about that track meet stabbing. All right, we're waiting for this to go through. Is it self-defense? Was it murder? We've got a lot of back and forth going on in this story, and we're going to find out exactly what is going down. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is
The Monsters in the Morning.
Brian Holmes, what do you think?
So I can hear you better?
Yeah.
Have big boobs. I will be able to hear you very well in a crowded bar.
Wow.
Trust me on that one.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's congestion at the ramp junction where Florida's Turnpike meets the beach line. Slowdowns on I-4 eastbound before US 27 and after State Road 429. There's a crash where Apopka Vineland Road meets Palm Parkway. Look out for an accident off to the right shoulder on US 27 northbound at Ronald Reagan Parkway. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Fairwinds Credit Union. Financial freedom happens here. Fairwinds Credit Union. Whether you need personal or business accounts to help you reach your goals, they've got you covered. Visit fairwinds.org to join their community of financial freedom seekers today. Financial freedom happens here. Federally insured by NCUA.
Orlando's premier comedy club and restaurant is the Funny Bone, located at Point Orlando. This week, the Funny Bone welcomes Nick Swartzen, April 18th and 19th. Check our star-studded calendar and showtimes online at orlando.funnybone.com. Full kitchen and bar available, as well as parking discounts for all guests. Follow us on all social media platforms and get your tickets now at orlando.funnybone.com. We'll see you at the show.
Sunnyside Air Conditioning.
Hi, my air conditioner isn't working.
We're hosting a pet rock adoption telethon.
Pet rocks?
The internet says they're endangered.
Rocks are everywhere.
You know what's everywhere?
Frank Gay is everywhere. I'm calling Frank Gay.
When you have AC problems, you need help now. One of our licensed and certified technicians can have your AC blowing cold air in no time. That's the Frank Gay way. FrankGayServices.com.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. We offer HELOCs and home equity lines of credit with scores as low as 640. Find out if you're qualified today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
At Florida Prepaid, we're here for all the grinders, the go-getters, the gifted, the talented, the unique, the spirited. We're here for the well-to-do, the just getting started, the budgeters, the big spenders, and everyone in between. Because we believe that every child deserves higher education, and our goal is to help families save for it by making it simpler and more affordable than ever before. So every child has the opportunity to shine. Plans start at just $29 a month. Open enrollment ends April 30th.
We don't want to live forever. We just want to live right now. They said, if you drink, you will die. My uncle went like this to the doctor. Yeah, man, let's go. He sees me one time, he thinks he knows me.
George Lopez, live on stage, June 8th, inside Hard Rock Event Center at Seminole Hard Rock Tampa. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com or HardRockTampa.com. Don't miss George Lopez Live.
Let's go, Mike, baby. All right, when we come back, we're talking about Carmelo Anthony. That's the 17-year-old, I believe, who fatally stabbed and killed 17-year-old Austin Metcalf in the stands at a track meet. Now, his family has taken all that money that was raised for them, which is almost $500,000, and the family says, we're going to buy a new house. They said they couldn't use it to pay his bond, his original bond, which they lowered all the way from $1 million to $250,000. They said that the money was instead going to be used for a new house for this kid that stabbed and killed the other one, Austin Metcalf. And there are new rumors about what happened before this. So we're going to get into that in just a second here. All right? But is that their money? They could do whatever they want with it. They want to buy a new house. That's a fine look. They said it's like used for security. They need to be in a gated community because he's received racist threats since this stabbing. So they're going to get a new house because his dad is currently on leave from his job. What do you think about this? Let us know.
$20129. That's wow to 20129.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge. Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover's accepted at the places that I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Show off your new smile with Solid Bite. The dentists at Solid Bite use the latest techniques and technology to give you the smile you've always dreamed of. Call Solid Bite in Melbourne now for an exclusive radio offer at 321-259-8000. Solid Bite, life-changing dentistry.
The free iHeartRadio app just made spring break and Easter holiday travel better for the whole family. Sing along with playlists like Disney hits. Dance to today's pop hits on Hit Nation Junior. And learn something new with podcasts like Wow in the World.
Scientists were working on self-driving cars in 1939.
iHeartRadio, because every family road trip deserves a great soundtrack. Open the iHeartRadio app, search family, and listen now.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Now is your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Check. 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 That's check. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm. Good luck.
The biggest biggest stories of the day in all their glory and insanity. You're listening to the News Junkie.
Now.
Well, hey there, friend. It is a Share the Show Tuesday. What does that mean? It means you share the show. Tell somebody about this show, the station you're listening to it on. Send a link around and say, I think you should check this out, the News Junkie. You'll have a good time. Or just share the show in smaller ways, like the stream, whatever it is you like to do to show your support on a Share the Show Tuesday. All right, this story is getting kind of crazy, honestly. And it all started right here on these bleachers, right here, where you had a young man by the name of Austin Metcalf, 17 years old, at a track meet, and he was stabbed to death by a guy by the name of Carmelo Anthony, also a teenager. And now we've got charges in this case, but the crazy twists and turns keep coming on this one. One is, we knew already that there was a big fundraiser. It's called Help Carmelo Official Fund on a site called Give, Send, Go. And they raised over $430,000 so far.
Okay, wait a second. I don't think that the original goal was $500,000. I feel like they might have
changed that. It's $1 million or $500,000 now. The goal now has been put at $500,000, and they've raised over $430,000. Keep in mind, all we know about this so far is that this is a young man who stabbed and killed another person. Right? When they did the police documents on this, they said Carmelo was underneath the opposing team's tent, and then Austin Metcalf had come over to him and said, hey, you're in the wrong spot. And he tried to get him to get out of there. And Carmelo Anthony said, touch me and see what happens. And then apparently touched him in some way, and Carmelo Anthony responded by stabbing him in the heart with a knife and killing him on the bleachers there. And people have been donating to this Carmelo Anthony guy. Now, this is super different than things like Daniel Penny. To me, Daniel Penny was a guy who was arrested and charged with some things because he held Jordan Neely in a headlock and ended up killing him after Jordan Neely was threatening to kill everybody on the train car he was on.
Right.
This seems different than that. I don't know.
It does seem different than that.
There's just not a real solid case for actual self-defense yet. Saying, put your hand on me and see what happens, is not self-defense. It's not how it works. Doesn't go that way.
Because putting your hand on somebody is not a threat of deadly force.
Right. I'm looking at the people who are donating. I'm trying to say, what's pushing these folks?
I will say that in a Fox 4 story published April 9th, where they said that the Carmelo Anthony fundraiser has neared $300,000, it says here it has a goal of $350,000.
So they moved it up.
I think maybe they moved it up. Maybe Give, Send, Go doesn't allow to go over the goal. I don't know. What is it looking? What's the goal say there? The goal says
here,
$500,000.
Yeah, it says $500,000 is the goal, and they raised $433,000 for a guy who stabbed another person to death. Hold your head, anonymous giver. This says stay strong through this difficult time. May the truth win. Watch over our boy ancestors. Not much, but hang in there, says somebody who gave $40. My family and I support Carmelo. Why would your family and you support Carmelo with the information given? Because all now that we have is that one dude stabbed another dude in the heart for saying, touch me and see what happens. Put your hands on me and see what happens. That seems kind of weird, but
top donation is $3,000.
Is it? $3,000 is the biggest number. Who did it say who gave that, or is that anonymous?
It just says Tamara or Tamara, just as God bless.
All right, let's get into some of the things that have happened here. Now we know that Carmelo has been released. He's been let out on bail. Here he is back at his place, and he's been released from prison because they were able to post this bond. They raised all that money, and they had $1 million bond, but they told the judge, we're not using that money for the bond. We're using that for something else. We're going to use this for a different thing. And in their case, they wanted to use it to buy a new house. They wanted to buy a new home. The family. Hey. So they're using the over $400,000 raised on Give, Send, Go to move into a new home. He stabbed 17-year-old Austin Metcalf in the heart, which is being praised by many throughout the country. That's strange. Given that Carmelo has no prior criminal history, and given that this young man has not been in any sort of trouble before, $1 million is not necessary, says his defense attorney. I think at this point, living in a gated community, given everything, the safety of their children is very warranted. Is this audio that I'm talking about? Let me see here. This is him being released. All right, this is Carmelo Anthony being released out from jail. I'm assuming this is...
We're up.
Oh, they're giving the alert that something's happening. Oh, the reporters are running over to ask questions. Would you say anything to the family of the victim?
Carmelo, why were you armed at school?
Why were you armed at school?
Explain your self-defense. How is this self-defense?
All right, he's not saying anything. He's lawyered up, and he's not saying anything to these reporters that are questioning him out there. I think this is his attorney here. The judge in the case who changed the bond from $1 million to $250,000 changed their social media accounts to private. The judge, Tucker, said they've never had security issues that they've faced with this case. They're upset by this. And here we go. Here's the attorney.
The big question that a lot of people have is why was this young man armed on school property?
That's an understandable question, but it's not something that, frankly, we're prepared to even go into. This is something that I know the police and the prosecution want to get it right and want to have a full and fair investigation, and so do we. So it would be irresponsible for me or them at this point to start saying this is what happened, this is why, anything. So I understand that's a big question. It's going to be a big question, and it's something that we will find out, and we ask that the public, as hard as it is, withhold judgment and let both of these families have justice.
Okay, all right. So let me stop here. Withholding judgment is fine. I get it. But I'm trying to convince myself that almost $500,000 wasn't donated by racists. Okay? I'm trying to convince myself that this isn't just people who are like, hey, we want to support this dude because he's black and he stabbed a white guy. But what is the motivation? Withholding any kind of opinion, waiting to see what details come in, waiting to see why he had a knife on school campus, okay. Waiting to see if he literally was actually defending himself, if there was a reason for him to feel fear and to fight back and to even stab this kid in that kid, totally fine. And if it came out that there were reasons to do so and that he was absolutely defending himself, fine, 100%, donate to him. Fund his defense. Everybody deserves a fair defense. But when you don't have anything...
The fund is now for the house, it seems.
Yeah, they're buying a house in a neighborhood. They say it's because all the threats they're getting. Maybe they're getting threats. I'll grant that. Maybe there's a bunch of dumb racists out there on the other side who are giving threats. But why are you just blanket donating to this guy before you have any reason to believe he was actually operating in self-defense? That seems strange to me. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Maybe there's more from the attorneys here. Here's the attorney again talking at a press conference.
Self-defense is a protection that applies to each and every one of us. There are two sides to every story.
Okay.
And Carmelo is a 17-year-old kid and an excellent student. He is the captain of his track team. He is the captain of his football team. And prior to this, what was on his mind was what college he was going to go to.
All right, so they're doing the whole thing where afterwards you're like, he was a great kid, he was well-behaved, he was never in trouble with anything like this. That might be the case, but that doesn't mean he was defending himself. And at some point, they're going to have to explain what the hell happened here. Give me something. Tell me why this guy is not a cold-blooded murderer. I'm not seeing any evidence that he was actually just defending himself.
This is a tragedy all the way around for both families.
Yeah, one more
rushing
than the other.
To judgment, trial by public perception and trial by media is not how we ensure justice is done. We are confident that after a full investigation, that the truth will come out. Thank you.
All right, that's it. That's what they got. We're confident the truth will come out. We don't have any answers, concrete answers to what's going on, but we know they took the $430,000 plus, and they're going to buy a new house with it in a gated neighborhood. Damn. I don't know. It just seems weird to me. Just seems like a really strange thing.
They said that, a bunch of the family members had to like take off work and hire lawyers and stuff, and so they still got to make the rent.
Yeah,
and
the dad says he's on leave from his job right now. Yeah,
the gated neighborhood, I think, does make a little bit of sense if you're getting these kind of reactions and threats, but it just seems like why not use some of the money for bond? Also, it's just easy to get up right in that gated neighborhood.
I guess
neighborhood
so.
People aren't a little concerned about what's going on here.
Good time to buy right now. Well, I look at it this way. I said there's only a couple of ways to look at a story like this. And we look at the claim, self-defense. All right. Why are you saying it's self-defense? You said that if you put your hand on me, see what happens. And then he put his hand on you and you stabbed him. We're going to need more than that. We're going to need more than that to think that you were actually in danger. And even with the Apple River stabbing case, I think there was more evidence to defend the guy than there was in this one so far. And I'm not saying it's impossible. They could come forward and go, look, here's the reason why he stabbed this Austin Metcalf and killed him. And I'll go, damn, all right, you know what? Changes my mind, completely view the story differently. Everybody was in the right. But right now, I don't see that. I just find it to be very, very strange that he's being lionized when it looks to me like he just killed somebody. All right, we'll go to you. We'll get to your dispatches and see what you have on your mind. Here is, let's see, Flip is talking about nature and how to handle things out in nature. Let's listen in.
So I agree with Courtney on the whole protect the bird from the cats thing. It's my theory that all the outdoor cats that stupid American cat owners, because it's only American cat owners, do this. They let them roam around. They actually feed them at, behind banks at dumpsters for feral cats. They take food. It's ridiculous. I think all the feral cats should be rounded up and taken to that neighborhood with all the coyotes. That would, that's two birds, one stone thing. The coyotes.
Oh, this guy wants to do some real nature manipulation here. Let's get all these animals. You're not wrong, Flip, in saying the outdoor cats are killing machines. You're absolutely positively right about that. I agree with you. But I just think if I see like two animals fighting in the wild, I'm hands off. Like, this is nature. I got to let nature play out.
Kind of just want to watch, right?
Let's just sit down, have a little picnic, and see what goes down here.
I'm the same way if I see two animals getting at it in the wild.
Oh, yeah? You sit there and watch?
I mean, not for a long time.
That's
but
weird, man.
They do.
I do want to point it out and be like, look, those two ducks going at it right now.
This is weird, dude.
Why is it weird?
It's more normal to watch animals fight in the wild. If they start having sex,
I
you
don't
got to
see
give them
that
some
many
privacy.
animal fights. I see much more animal sex.
Good. Your neighborhood's a happy place then. That means the animals
I
are
don't
doing
know.
well.
Somebody in the texting service said there's coyotes in my neighborhood.
Oh, no. Don on YouTube says, these kids these days, don't know the consequences of their actions. If we continue to do this crap, it gives the green light for other kids to do this. Well, this is more so just adults defending this young person before there is seemingly a reason to defend him. That's what I really get hung up on here. Dan on YouTube says, some people get every benefit of the doubt and every loophole and assistance from the law they can get. Others apparently deserve to be convicted in a public space immediately. How funny how that works, which is obviously leaning on the racial implications here. But I don't know that matters. Honest to God, what if it was a white kid who pulled out a knife and stabbed a black kid in the heart and we had the same exact set of facts and circumstances? I don't think we would have a white kid with $430,000 in funds with the same set of facts. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you think. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. Okay, we're running a little bit behind. When we come back, we will do jury duty. We'll see what's going on with that. We've got a teacher who was arrested for partying with students and has been released back into the classroom again. People are not happy about that. What is her situation? That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Hey, this is Lincoln Kennedy. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
The Magic will try to punch their ticket to the NBA playoffs tonight when they host Atlanta in the play-in tournament. Former Florida defensive tackle Desmond Watson says he's changed his diet and training routine in hopes of shedding some of his 464 pounds for the NFL. Vice President J.D. Vance went viral Monday after dropping part of Ohio State's college football playoff trophy during a White House ceremony. I'm Seth Everett.
That feeling of owning your first Mercedes-Benz is hard to believe, but it's real. From the leather stitching to the iconic design, every element of a Mercedes lives up to its reputation. See for yourself at your local dealer. Offers are waiting.
Kevin, why is my auto insurance so expensive? I need to switch because my company raised my rates again.
I hear you, Jay. I had the same problem, but then I called Acceptance. They saved me hundreds on my car insurance.
Really?
Yes, Acceptance was great. They did all the work comparing different plans and found me the best payment options that fit my budget.
Do you have their number?
Sure do. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049.
Why pay more for auto insurance? Acceptance Insurance has offices in your neighborhood, and one call to Acceptance could save you up to 30% on your car insurance. 800-606-7049. Let Acceptance shop for you by comparing and finding the best rates. You could save up to 30%. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049. Restrictions apply based on Q1 2024 study of Acceptance Insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number L012294.
It's tax season. By now, we're all a bit tired of numbers, but here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number, $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Here in Orlando, we know life doesn't slow down for anything, especially a broken garage door. Since 2002, Precision Garage Door has been proudly serving the Orlando community. Local and reliable, that's what makes them different. Their vans are fully stocked, so when you call, their fully vetted techs are ready to provide you with same-day service. Whether it's a stuck door or a snap spring, they have you covered right when you need it most. We know a broken garage door can't wait, which is why we're always prepared to help by keeping our vans fully stocked. Call Precision Garage Door today or visit them online at PrecisionGarageDoor.com. Precision Garage Door. Garage doors done right.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Eustace Roofing, with over 65 years of experience in Central Florida, provides a VIP experience with an on-site crew lead, project manager, and expert team for every home. No wonder they won National Roofing Company of the Year. Visit EustaceRoofing.com to schedule your free estimate.
Thank you for making Mercedes-Benz of South Orlando one of the premier luxury dealerships in Central Florida. We are the official dealer of luxury, providing the ultimate VIP experience at a price you can afford. Call Monica Ventura at 689-319-7680. That's 689-319-7680. We guarantee you will be treated like VIP and nothing less. Across from the mall at Millennia.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The new iHeart app just looks better.
The best feature of a car radio on the app.
It's the presets.
Super easy.
And thank you for keeping it free.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeart Radio app today.
iHeart Radio.
It's tax season. By now, we're all a bit tired of numbers, but here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number, $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
Road trip? Let's go! But first, drive into Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where we only pour premium Valvoline oil. No appointment needed. Save today at VIOC.com. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. We'll get you back on the road in no time.
Need help navigating your will or trust? Visit onefirmforlife.com today for your free consultation.
Occupying the space between high society and prison tattoos. This is the News Junkie.
The country, some very interesting cases we've been following for a bit, and we got a 911 call to examine to see if somebody's done their job or not. All that coming up in a moment. Thanks to all of our podcasters. We love you. We appreciate you. No matter how you enjoyed the show and have shared the show Tuesday, we're glad to have you around, honestly. But you podcasters, you can join them by going to subscribe to the podcast on iHeartRadio. The link is available at thenewsjunkie.com. All right. Here we go. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go, just call Mo. And justcallmo.com is the website, justcallmo.com. 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO after an accident. This is the attorney that you need to lean on. You know him from the show. You love him. You appreciate him. You see all the good things he does for this community. And that's how you know you're in very good hands. 800-CALL-MO or go to justcallmo.com. Okay. You call 911. You're looking to get some help, and here's what happens. Tell me if you guys think this went bad.
County dispatch leaders are reviewing a 911 call from earlier this year after the dispatcher was ordering breakfast.
Hey, Griddle. Sorry, what?
She was ordering a McGriddle in the middle of having a conversation with somebody who called 911. And this guy,
she couldn't have been ordering it like in real time. Was she telling somebody else to get her a McGriddle?
Yeah, it had to be. It had to be like somebody was doing a DoorDash for the office, because that's the only way this makes sense to me. Somebody's like, "What do you want?" McGriddle. I'll take that. And this guy had called 911, and he said that his wife reported somebody snooping around their house, knocking on the doors and banging on the windows, and he wanted some help. He said, "I was panicking. My wife was home alone, and here they are talking about McGriddles."
It was in February. Dylan Johnson was concerned about someone snooping around his home in the Savannah area. He called the non-emergency line first and then called 911 3 times. After finally getting an answer, he was shocked by what he heard during the call.
If it didn't happen to me, I wouldn't believe it happened to someone else. That's how unbelievable it really is.
I would have more issue with them not picking up the phone.
Yeah, I
For
think
sure.
If this was just a story where he heard someone say McGriddle while he was making a 911 call, I don't think I would be as upset about it. But calling 3 times to get somebody to pick up, like that's the whole
crazy.
point of 911.
Yeah, and that shows
he shouldn't have called the non-emergency line. If there's somebody on his property right now snooping around, call 911 right now.
I agree. I would have skipped that too. I would have gone right to 911 if you really thought your wife was in danger inside your house at the moment. But if you call 911, nobody's picking up. It becomes clear at some point we have a staffing issue there. These folks gotta eat, right? Like if somebody's in the background saying, "What do you want?" McGriddle. Okay. As long as she's getting the information from you and doing her job right, I'm more worried about 3 calls to 911, no answer.
I mean,
that's where my problem.
Big Doug Millionaire on Twitch says that she's multitasking due to the staffing shortages, which you're right. It does seem that like if there's not enough people to pick up the phone on the first and second try, there's probably going to be somebody that needs to feed these people or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they should have decided that on their own.
I know it sounds weird that she's distracted and she's not focused on his major emergency and she wants a McGriddle, but that to me isn't the problem. The problem is, can you get somebody to answer the phone when you call 911? The answer to that question should always be yes.
100% yes.
You should always be able to have somebody answer the phone and help you if you call 911. We are tax-paying Americans. We deserve that much. If our system does not allow for us to pick up the phone and call 911 and have somebody answer, it's broken and it needs to be fixed. We need to get more people.
Isn't it part not just of our taxes, but of our phone bill? Like, isn't there part of the phone bill that's like the 911 fee?
I don't know. If there is, like, we obviously aren't using it.
He should get his 50 cents back for that month.
Give the man a refund, for God's sake. So I care less about, like, if they're multitasking, as long as they're getting the job done and as long as people are answering the phone. A teacher is now back in school after being arrested for partying with students. She's back at Saturn Elementary School. This Brevard County teacher has some parents upset that she's back around. Let's see what Fox 35, our friends over there,
elementary school principal and a teacher were both arrested there. And tonight, that teacher is back in the classroom. Fox 35's Esther Bauer is live in Brevard County. So, Esther, not everyone is happy about this.
Of course not.
John, several parents are livid. This teacher is back in the classroom again. Today was her first day. She was reassigned to teach here at Saturn Elementary. Now, this new job comes as a new video was just released showing police talking to Anderson at the party.
Give it to us.
Oh, why don't you put me in? This is the interaction that landed an elementary school teacher behind bars, cursing and yelling at a Cocoa Beach police officer. They were responding to several disturbance calls.
So this was the big house party we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
this was the big one. And there's been some others that we haven't touched on because it just seems like, I don't know if it's a coastal thing, but there's been some other house parties that they've broken up that have had teachers or that one had a principal, I believe, at it as well. And so she's at a different school now. That's a little forgivable, I guess. Giving her a second chance. I don't know that I'd be super, super livid.
Teacher's lobby is a strong one. Only to be surpassed by the police lobby, friend. That's the one where you can really get in some trouble and still get a job being a cop. That lobby is real strong. But the parents aren't happy. I want to hear more from this body cam thing.
About an alleged house party.
I'm concerned about a child that's being put into a machine, into one of these vehicles, and it's none of my business. You say something to them.
Well, they can't.
Damn.
No, you tell. Cocoa Beach has gone mad and nasty.
Bro, who are these people?
She sounds wasted.
This lady is drunk at a party with kids, and they're like, put her back in the school. Send her back out there.
Have we ever caught her drunk on the job?
Not yet. No. No, she's safe from that. And finally, in jury duty
some
today.
people would argue, Joshua, that a teacher's job, of protecting students doesn't end when the bell rings.
So true, Christopher.
All
Very
the time.
astute.
Even from getting in the ambulances, I guess. But this is the final story in jury duty. Tell me what you would do in these circumstances. This is jaw-dropping. An investigation is underway after at least 10 human bodies were found in an unair-conditioned funeral home in Houston, Texas. Police were called to this place, Richardson Mortuary. The customer's sister said there was something going down. About 11:55 a.m., a funeral home worker stabbed a customer who began filming bodies at the establishment. The customer's sister told Eyewitness News she and her brother had gone to the funeral home because they'd grown suspicious about where their mother and uncle's bodies were, where they were being stored. I opened up the casket and she had gnats on her face.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. That's rough. In videos Magruder captured, some bodies are laying on tables and others are on plastic or inside caskets. They said there's no air conditioner, there's gnats everywhere, and it smells like rotten blood. The funeral home worker eventually confronted her brother and her and ordered them to leave and get away from the bodies. They said, get out of here. You can't be in here. Get out of here. These
and
bodies
then stabbed somebody?
Yeah. When they refused to leave, she said he stabbed her brother in the stomach. They described the wound as minor and said the victim was able to drive himself to the hospital afterwards. We got another self-defense claim, though.
Oh
We got another one of these. Richardson mortuary customers began descending on the business by early afternoon as videos of the bodies circulated on social media. I saw a lady in purple in the same suit as my grandmother. So I said, wait a minute, that looks like my grandmama. They said her grandmother, Bonnie Ashley, was supposed to have been cremated last month. And I guess that hadn't happened. And they said, it's not uncommon for funeral homes to have bodies laid out on tables. It's typical funeral home operation. But the people watching this were very upset, and they did not like how these bodies were being kept. What would you do if that video came out and you saw your loved one who died at the funeral home with bugs all over him and stuff? Yikes. Let us know what you do and send a dispatch to thenewsjunkie.com. When we return, some big news at the box office we got to talk about. There's a lunatic out on the streets that we need to discuss. And Christina Formella, that's the teacher who made love, sweet, sweet love to her student and then claimed he was a stalker afterwards.
You're calling it sweet, sweet love.
That's what she says. No, she says her student was actually a stalker. He says, and his family says, that she was sending him nudes and had a sexual relationship with her. The latest interaction from her in the press is an interesting one. And it's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Keep an eye out for an accident off to the shoulder on I-4 eastbound before Lake Mary Boulevard. There's a crash getting cleared up on I-4 eastbound at Osceola Parkway. Traffic slowing down at the ramp junction where Florida's Turnpike meets the beach line. There's an accident on Apopka Vineland Road where it meets Palm Parkway. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover's accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of over 40 Greenway dealerships vying for your car when you trade it in at Greenway Kia. When dealerships compete, you win. We're offering as much as $10,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade. Curious what your trade's worth? Check it out now at greenwaykias.com. We want to see you in a Kia. From Greenway Kia, with 3 area locations to serve you.
All factory rebates to dealer, negative equity refinanced.
Future health weight loss.
Get access to weight loss meds like Ozempic, Zepbound, and pill options if you don't like injections from FutureHealth.com. The meds eliminate hunger and cravings while Future Health handles the rest. Best results, best price. All online with no insurance needed. Join those losing 10 pounds in their first month. Visit FutureHealth.com. Future without the E to start losing weight this week.
Future health weight loss.
Data based on independent study sponsored by Future Health. Future Health is not a healthcare services provider. Meds are prescribed at provider's discretion.
If you're thinking about going to nursing school but aren't sure how to get started, join us at Galen College of Nursing's upcoming open house. Here, you'll meet with friendly and helpful faculty, current students, and academic advisors who can help you get comfortable with admissions and enrollment. Plus, you'll tour our campus and learn all about Galen's personalized student support. RSVP now for our open house on Tuesday, April 22nd from 4 to 6 p.m. by visiting
visiting GALENcollege.edu/Orlando.
Permanent injuries may not appear immediately after an accident. That's why the insurance company wants to settle with you quickly. They want you to sign away your claim before you even know the full extent of your injuries. Don't accept pennies on the dollar. Never sign anything until you speak with me. I'm Orlando injury attorney Mo DeWitt. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit justcallmo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO.
Help DEA keep our communities safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 26th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Want to win $15,000 in new impact windows from Reese Windows? Pick up your phone and text the word WOW to 20129. That's WOW to 20129.
It's tax season. By now, we're all a bit tired of numbers, but here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number, $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crush Yard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Need help after an accident? Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, BILLS. 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 Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Home of the world famous Game of Magnets. This is the...
You can always join us on the show, dispatches and emails, and we're going to get into a bunch of those here in just a moment. Lots of feedback to get to on a Share the Show Tuesday. I'm setting up a couple of things here. Quick update to start things off. This fight didn't last long. I guess Buddy Dyer got a little worried maybe because I see the Attorney General, since the start of the show, has sent this message out. It says, "We appreciate at Orlando Mayor reversing course and confirming that Orlando will enforce state and federal immigration laws." And there's a letter from Mayor Buddy Dyer of Orlando, who there was like talk, will the governor, Ron DeSantis, oust Dyer for not following state law, just to get rid of the mayor and oust him. And then Buddy Dyer's office sent this out. "Dear Attorney General Uthmeyer, thank you for your letter. I want to assure you that we take your letter, Florida law, and federal immigration law very seriously. Neither I nor the Orlando Police Department have any intention of violating federal or state law. And as you know, we've signed a memorandum of agreement 287G task force model with ICE." He has a copy of that attached. "Our OPD officers are in the process of being trained by ICE to provide assistance in its direction. We assure you we will continue to use our best efforts to support the enforcement of federal immigration law as well as state law. I'm always available to provide additional information or assist you in any way." So Buddy Dyer saying, well, all right. we're not doing what we said we were going to do. Instead, we're going to follow this state immigration law, I guess. So that didn't last very long. But your emails are more important. So let's see what we got. Ginger emails the show. You guys ready to hear from Ginger?
Am I ever?
All right,
we get to hear from Marianne as well. We want to get both sides.
She is dead. I'm sorry. Died on the island. Ginger says to tips@thenewsjunkie.com, what the hell? Why do people keep praising murderers when they're committing murder for frivolous reasons? If any of these people who are defending this Carmelo kid, if they said anything to anybody who was stabbed for it, they'd be flipping out like it's a new club. I don't know what that means. I've never heard of this before. This is totally insane, says Ginger. Yeah, Americans don't mind murder as much as you would think. I've stated this repeatedly on the show. If the person lines up with you politically, socially, or otherwise, people will absolutely excuse murder. If the person is hot, people will absolutely excuse murder. We will let people get away with insane things.
And if it's both, I mean, just hold on to your butts.
If you're hot and you line up politically, it's like the stars aligning. And you get like a Luigi Mangione thing where the guy kills a dad of two. And then people go, yeah, but healthcare is not great. And they'll go, he's such a genius. And I'll look at him and go, is he really that smart? This guy seems like a dumbass to me.
I mean, in the kind of the aftermath of all of the different various Coachella stories, I think one of the bands was like, we need an army of Luigis. And you're like, oh, okay.
Italy
a lot of people
has that.
Yeah. A lot of people believe that. They really believe that. I happen to think murdering people for reasons like this is badass insane. But here I am.
Good reasons only.
Although I would tell you, I think killing people accidentally for what I think is a better reason is fine. I told you, and I had a strong moral compulsion when Daniel Penny was on that subway in New York City, when he was in this crapshoot. New York City doesn't want to do anything about dangerous, violent, mentally ill people roaming their city. People get attacked. People get pushed in front of trains. People are scared. People no longer stand by the tracks. They lean against the walls because they're scared of getting shoved by deranged lunatics in front of these vehicles. So the politicians, the state, the city, they have let you down, and they have let you be surrounded by violent people. And then in the Daniel Penny case, he gets onto this subway train, and along comes Jordan Neely. And Jordan Neely threatens to kill everybody on the train car, starts getting up in people's faces. Everybody's scared as hell on this train car. Finally, somebody steps up where the state and the city and the politicians wouldn't step up, and he tries to subdue this person. Unfortunately, he kills them in the back and forth that they had where he was holding them in his chokehold. And I said, if this guy is found guilty of murder, our system is screwed. And I really believe that he had done something that was morally right on that occasion. But in the case of the Carmelo Anthony kid, I don't see enough evidence to say there was any reason why he should have stabbed somebody in the heart at this track and field thing.
Reportedly didn't seem to be threatening multiple people. He just told one person not to touch him.
Yeah, and I get that you shouldn't touch people. I get all of those things, but that's not an excuse to kill somebody. So that's where I don't have the same view on that story. For me, it doesn't have anything to do with race, but some of you won't be convinced on that, I'm sure.
Speaking of trains, have you guys been watching this season of Love on the Spectrum?
No. Oh,
it was such a good one. We just finished it last night.
I like that show, though. But I haven't seen the new season, though.
There is one girl on there who is obsessed with not trains in general, although I think would be described as generally a train fan, but just one particular train in her town, in Boston, that she is just the biggest fan of. And she will wait at the station and jump up and down when it shows up and loves riding the T train.
There's nothing wrong with that, right? How old is she again?
Probably 20s.
Okay.
Probably early 20s, maybe.
This is her area of focus. Autistic people have superpowers, man. They zone in on their thing. A lot of them, not all of them, of course. There's a wide variety of different people with autism, but many of them that zoom in on their thing, damn, do they become very, very good at whatever it is they're talking about. I've seen a lot of people go down that path. Tipsofthenewsjunkie.com, superheroes, I tell you. Casey emails and says, "Good day, everybody. Josh mentioned the awkward moment between Donald Trump, the president, and Cheryl Hines, wife of RFK Jr. at UFC this weekend. What I thought was weird was that Elon brought his son, Little X, with him. Crazy to me that a dad is bringing a 4-year-old to a violent event that goes on until 1:30 a.m. And I was thinking about that. That is kind of strange. Do you bring little kids to UFC fights, or is that seen as not good?
It's weird because not small children. How old is Little X?
4.
He's 4. He's 4. Yeah, he's a little kid.
I don't know.
Great guy.
I don't know what age you would start bringing a kid to wrestling matches is, but like wrestling and the idea of entertainment-based wrestling, like the WWE, is kind of aimed at a younger crowd and like a family thing. And there was like in middle school, and I know that's a lot older than 4, but there was a lot of people that were like into wrestling.
All right, but do you bring Jackson to a UFC fight when he's 4 or no?
It would be hard to kind of justify that.
Yeah,
it'd be hard to justify that.
4-year-old is too young for a rambunctious live fight like that. I think that's a little bit too much, but you can tell us what you think.
You're going to bring your 4-year-old to a UFC fight and then tell him, okay, don't do that at school.
Yeah, be safe.
Okay.
Tips@thenewsjunkie.com and G emails. This says, I would definitely not want to use a robot for a birth. However, in a hospital, I think it would be safer than having a water birth at home with the nurse, because when things go wrong, you can't deal with it. A robot in the hospital might be safer because bedside manner is super important to us ladies. But if the robot has an English accent and are real flirty, that might be fun, says G. Okay.
Gee, that is incredibly specific, man. What are you getting at here?
All right, love. Let's go ahead and pop this baby out, yeah?
I guess so. Christina Formella, that's the teacher accused of having sex with a 15-year-old student during a tutoring session. The media encounters her as she's on her way to court. Let's listen in.
What happened with the student? Did you rape the student? Uh-oh. Why?
Why?
Help us understand. Anything you want to say?
Dude, the husband is just walking alongside her through all this thing. That's a tough one. There she goes inside the courtroom.
You don't have anything on you. You can just grab whatever you need.
This is before on the body cam footage where she was just shocked that she was going to be arrested for all of this.
I'm in trouble?
What are you talking about? I'm being targeted because I'm beautiful, she said. And another email here. This is from Britt. And Britt says, hey, Sean, not sure if you've seen this story out of Satellite Beach High School. A teacher there was using a student's preferred name instead of their legal name. The mother of the student found out and reported the teacher to the school. A lot of people have reached out about this story. The school district isn't renewing the teacher's contract because she broke a state law. From what I was told, the mother of the student doesn't approve of the female student using the masculine nickname. My sister is also a teacher at Satellite High, and the student was in her class last year. She said she avoided all of this by calling the student by her last name. There you go. That, to me, is the solution for this stuff. I agree with your sister. Side note, the principal and teacher in Cocoa Beach who hosted the house party for minors are still employed by this same school district. The principal was suspended without pay, and the teacher's back in the classroom. We just talked about that. Thank you, Britt. Yeah, I keep seeing this story. It was a teacher who was calling some student who was in some phase of transition by a different name that wasn't their given legal name. And under Florida state law, you can't do that because they don't want the school having control over their children and any kind of transitioning genders or whatever it is that they want to get involved in. I did see, yes, that the mother was aware of this and I guess wasn't on board. Sometimes what happens, this gets really, really ugly, is you have a divorce case, and then in the middle of that, a child that maybe gets confused and gets wrapped up in this gender stuff, and then the parents are like tug-of-warring over it. I've seen that in a couple of cases, and it just seems bad.
So you think maybe the father was cool with the preferred name, or even
I don't know if that's the case in this particular story, but I have seen that. I have seen where a father is like either for it or against it, and the other partner is for it or against it, and they're pulling like a tug of war with the child in the middle. And in this case, yeah, the teacher, it was just a contract renewal thing that I heard. I think the best out for all of this is to do that, to call people by their last names or to call them by even like a nickname, I think could be fine. You just don't want the teachers getting in the middle of all of this. There's no reason for that to be playing out at the school, in my opinion.
My 10th grade English teacher was ahead of the times then. She referred to everybody as their last name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, but some people don't even like that. Wow.
Get back to your work, Lane.
Like if people come up to me, and I really don't care about this stuff anymore. It's why I've ignored the story for the last week and a half. When a bunch of people emailed about it, I think people are over the gender stories. It's just an obsession that it could be settled out of the public sphere at this point. This is a tiny fraction of a percentage of the United States population, and it takes up too much air. But when I see these stories like this, I think the family should be sorting this out. This should not be something that everybody is talking about every single detail of this. I don't think it solves any problems. But if somebody comes to me like, I'm Zer pronoun, I'm calling you by your name. Whatever your name is what I'll call you. I'm fine with that. You want a nickname? As long as the nickname, I'm not calling you like Sexy Man 69, Josh. All right? I'm not doing
he doesn't want to be a liar.
I'm not calling you that.
I'm Sexy Man 420.
Mostly, I just try to be a decent human being. I'm not jumping through a million hoops for you, but I will try to be a decent human being.
Jump through at least one hoop, please.
I can't. And finally, we've got this to pay off.
Showed you, sexy man.
Ryan emails, and he said, have you seen this video? A reporter gets a girl's number on live TV. Here it is. Baseball game, and the reporter's talking to these two blonde ladies. I don't know why.
I feel bad. He sounds like a Muppet.
A little bit.
We're having a lot of fun up here. What's your name? Lauren and Kayla.
I'm sorry, ladies. I don't want to be offensive. Okay, I hope this doesn't come across as offensive. Okay,
here goes.
All right,
buckle up, ladies.
I apologize in advance, but it seems like you could be a guy and baseball is your favorite thing in the world, and you memorize every single statistic, and you're a season ticket holder, and you want to be part of everything that's going on. And you show up to every single game, and then some blonde girl shows up, and they're like, go interview that person as quickly as possible. And the dude who's a baseball fan, who's uggo as hell, never gets any attention. Never. Unless they put you on the big screen.
Sean,
and they put
the entire broadcast is filled with voices who have limitless baseball stats and are constantly being handed, cards with new stats on them, and they're operated by baseball nerds. This is the time to take a little break from that. As we know, there's a lot of free time in baseball games.
This is solely because they found some girls and they were bored. They were like, let's go talk to the girls.
Well, does he get their number?
This is only acceptable if the guy is not a total bridge troll. Because if you go up there and you're like, ladies, can I get your number? Then everybody's going to go, look at this weirdo. Get him out of here.
It's so crazy. I feel like I'm in an episode of Impractical Jokers or something.
He does have a Muppet voice. But he's still got the number. He's still got the digits. You're right about that, Ryan. Thank you for the email. Appreciate that. Okay, there you go. We're going to hear from more of you as the show rolls on. Thank you for your input so far. And we'll also talk about an LAPD officer that's in trouble. We got an update on the Gene Hackman story, believe it or not. An interesting twist in that one. What's going on? That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Keep an eye out for a car stopped on the shoulder on the Greenway northbound just before Lake Jessup Bridge. There's a disabled vehicle on I-4 westbound just past Lake Mary Boulevard off to the shoulder. Emergency crews are clearing up an accident on I-4 eastbound at Osceola Parkway. Traffic slowing down on Florida's Turnpike northbound just before I-4. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by the Music Saved Me podcast.
I'm Lynn Hoffman, and lucky me, I get to host the Music Saved Me podcast, the podcast that explores the healing and transformative power of music. You can listen to the Music Saved Me podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
At Mayo Clinic in Florida, we are conquering the unconquerable. Our experts are leading the way with innovative regenerative medicines and biotherapeutics that can repair diseased, injured, or defective tissues and organs to help treat people with chronic medical conditions. We're making more possible at Mayo Clinic because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic, you know where to go.
Zero Res uses its patented process and products that's safe for your pets and your kids. And they have unbeatable service. That's why I've had them over to my house. Give them a call, 407-232-9188, or visit OrlandoZeroRes.com today. And remember, Zero Res, spelled forwards or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Right now, during the Jeep Celebration event, well-qualified current FCA lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Laredo 4x2 for $369 a month for 36 months with $3,999 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-888-925-JEEP for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Stellantis Financial. Current vehicle must be registered to consumer at least 30 days prior to lease to qualify. Extra charge for miles over 30,000. Not all customers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 4/30. Jeep is a registered trademark.
Get ready for fun family gatherings by replacing your old windows and doors with beautiful designs from Renewal by Andersen. One reason, they're customizable. Choose from a variety of styles and finishes to match your home's aesthetic, with each product custom built to fit your home's exact specifications. James says installation went smoothly. Installers polite and professional and hardworking. Take advantage of Renewal by Andersen's 1 month only sale. $300 off all windows, $825 off patio doors, plus $0 down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 18 months. Bonus offer. First 50 callers get a free True Scene screen upgrade. Call Renewal by Andersen today for your free design consultation. It's simple. Dial pound 250 from your cell phone. That's pound 250. Say the keyword best windows and be connected in seconds. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto dial text message from iHeartMedia. Official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. License number CGC 1527613.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection, one that helps better their everyday through the things they value most: friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything's possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Premier Men's Medical Center restores your sex life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate erectile dysfunction and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. to restore your sex life in just one visit. Call now, 407-337-5569.
Packing bags, grabbing snacks, and making sure you didn't forget that one stuffed animal they can't sleep without.
Mom!
Getting ready for a holiday road trip is a lot, but one thing that's easy, the music. Thanks to the free iHeartRadio app. Listen to family-approved stations with today's pop music, like Hit Nation Jr., carefully curated and safe playlists like Disney hits, and podcasts where you and the kids can learn something new. Open the iHeartRadio app, search family, and find your family's next preset now.
Heard of the job? Dial pound 529 on your cell. Pound law, that's all.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, BILLS. 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 Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Like a car crash, you can't stop listening to. This is the News Junkie.
Tuesday. Let me encourage you to unlock secret shows, uncensored shows. Damn near 500 of them, fully uncensored for you to listen to. Non-political, evergreen comedy shows. Subscribe to secret shows for just $2.99, and it comes with all sorts of other benefits that you'll see over on thenewsjunkie.com. It starts at just $2.99 a month. And I'll tell you what, I found a handful of extra hats. I got one of them that I got to give to somebody, but we got 1, 2, 3 more. And if anybody gifts 5 secret shows or anymore, the first 3 people that do that, if you gift 5 secret shows or more, I'll send you one of these hats, the fickle hats that we have. We only have a handful of these left, and then you'll never get them again. They'll never be printed again. But it has to be 5 gifted subs over at thenewsjunkie.com. If you don't know how to gift secret shows, just go to thenewsjunkie.com and you'll see the little gift icon. It's as simple as that. Gift some subs, spread the word, get more people in on secret shows. And the first 3 people to gift 5 subs or more, I will send you one of those fickle hats. So best of luck gifting out there. And best of luck receiving. When somebody gifts one, go claim it so you can unlock secret shows, at least for a month. Okay, friend, before we get to our final dispatches and all that good stuff today, there is a scientific formula from the folks in the white coats, the smart people, the researchers at the University of British Columbia, a scientific formula for the perfect day. They looked into this. They did all of the math, and it's the BDE algorithm, basically. The BDE formula.
Big D energy algorithm.
It's very close to BDMs, so they may be some of the happiest among us, but BDE is the formula. Best day ever. For those of you who are just trying to enjoy your lives, here's the formula. The best day ever includes, according to these scientists, 6 hours with family, which sounds like a rough start.
Like all of your family or just the ones you like?
It says 6 hours with family. I'm going to let you choose who you're hanging out with. 2 hours with your friends. 1.5 hours of extra.
Can I swap those 2?
6 with the friends and 2 with the family. You can if you want. 1.5 hours of extra socializing and 2 hours of exercise, plus 1 hour of eating and drinking, with less than 6 hours of work. They want you to get only an hour of screen time and a 15-minute commute, and all of that together is your best day ever. That's pretty tough. 15-minute commute alone is tough to do.
2 hours of exercise is a lot.
That's a lot. 2 hours every day of exercise? I don't get that much. I get an hour. That's it each day. And I'm happy to get that. But I can really skip on that sometimes, too. It's very, very difficult to get to this perfect formula. But, folks, if you can do it, you will feel better than everybody else out there. The BDE formula, 6 hours with family, 2 hours with friends, 1.5 hours of socializing extra, 2 hours of exercise, 1 hour eating and drinking, less than 6 hours of work, 1 hour of screen time, and a 15-minute commute. And presto bango, you are a happy man. If you don't get that, you're like this guy, 35-year-old in Belarus, who was filmed riding on top of a vehicle, going down the highway, and down he goes. He was standing on the roof of his vehicle. The vehicle crashed. Then somehow he ended up on the back of a semi, I guess. This guy here, holding on to the back of a semi on the road. Then he rolled off of that when somebody stopped that he was driving along with. And then he was naked, took off all his clothes, and stripped down naked on the side of the road. This is no way to go through life, okay? This is not the way to do it. This is not the best day ever energy.
You don't know how good a day that guy's having.
This is a bad day, all right? This is not a winner, even though some of that
could be
kind of
that
fun.
guy could be riddled with serotonin right now.
Yeah,
Think so?
Kind of fun.
I think his brain is just popping off when this is going down.
Yes.
My concern was like that initial shot there where he was on top of the red car and then he jumped off, fell off, whatever.
Yeah.
Is that are they on a bridge? What's behind this big wall?
A sound wall. It's like a big sound wall. He's on an interstate. He's on the roof of, I believe, his car. The car crashes into a barrier, and then he jumps off. Then he climbs onto the back of a moving semi, which he hangs on to until they find him doing that. And then he rolls off when they stop.
It's a lot.
And then he takes all his clothes off. That's something else. It says, a wild incident in Warsaw. Belarusian causes multiple accidents while under the influence. Say it ain't so. He was under the influence? I don't believe it. 35-year-old
What is he under
Belarusian
the
man.
influence of?
He triggered several crashes in Warsaw, running naked along the highway and even smashing the windows of cars. All this was caused by drugs. The bizarre chain of events began when he crashed his Hyundai into a BMW, continued driving, collided with a tanker and a Peugeot, then climbed onto a car roof, causing more chaos, before running into a truck and riding it for a while. Then he stripped naked, smashed out the window of a Nissan, and jumped on the roof of another car. Drivers managed to stop him, and he was handed over to the police. He has been hospitalized. This says, they sell drugs instead of potatoes in Belarus. That's one of the top comments there. I'm not sure what kind of drugs led to this, but somebody was having too much of a time. Oh, a bunch of folks have gifted secret shows. Thanks to 5 gifted by Fizzy. Appreciate you, Fizzy. All 5 of those were claimed immediately.
Wow.
Within 60 seconds. So, Fizzy, one of these fickle hats is yours. And we got 2 more opportunities for people to gift 5 secret show subs and grab one of these hats. I'll send it out to you today or so. All right. Now, with that, we're going to take our final break here. When we come back, we'll get into all the final dispatches, the stories that didn't make the cut, and today we're going to wrap everything up for a Share the Show Tuesday. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Today on The Big Show, it's the first clue for the Search Your Ace Off contest. Plus, what gets left in Ubers? We'll do What'd You Do That's New, tons of great prizes for trivia, and we'll end it up with It's Only Money with Scott Brown from Edgewater Family Wealth. Plus, 4 opportunities for you to win $1,000 and your calls, texts, and talkbacks.
The Jim Colbert Show, today at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
Hey, Central Florida, and happy Tuesday. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team Meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your Central Florida forecast. And today is going to be another sunshine-filled, warm day. Afternoon highs climbing back into the mid-80s, a high of around 86 degrees today in Orlando. A weak cold front slides through late tonight and into tomorrow morning. That will give way to some slightly cooler temperatures for our Wednesday. Highs back.
Skull mic activated. Big thanks to CNJ Forge for gifting 5 subs. 5 of them, count them. 5 secret shows. Grab those now, gobble them up on the website. There are 5 just gifted by CNJ Forge. He gets the second Stay Fickle hat or Fickle hat. Be back in a second. It worked? Yeah. All right. Thanks again, CNJ Forge. I don't know how many of those have been grabbed, but that's appreciated. Hang tight. Folks, thanks for hanging out today. Big show tomorrow. Explosions on the show tomorrow. Fritz on the street tomorrow. Big show tomorrow. Don't miss the stream. Lots of drama to stir up. But who is our chatter of the day? Who is it? Bobo said, I just gifted 5. Bobo, if that's true, thank you very much. I don't have the time to double check, but I believe you. If you did, and you're the third one, you'll get the hat, the Fickle hat. And thanks for spreading the word about secret shows. CNJ Forge, you are a chatter of the day. Congratulations to CNJ Forge, our chatter of the day, on account of the gifted subs. And just overall, I remember seeing your name. So let's see how your future looks. That wins you 1 prediction from Mr. Predicto. Mr. Predicto, will CNJ Forge die this year?
Without hesitation, yes.
That's not good. It's not necessarily good. Doesn't necessarily get us more Secret Shows gifters moving forward, which is what I actually want. I'm going to ask again, Mr. Predicto, is CNJ Forge going to die this year?
That is a likely outcome.
No! No! I need you to make sure he's going to be okay. He gifted Secret Shows. Mr. Predicto, will CNJ Forge survive this year? Well, I say, will CNJ Forge die this year? Just say no.
The signs say no.
That's what I'm talking about. Because that was looking rough there for a second. This one counts. This is the final prediction. Will CNJ Forge survive this year?
It cannot be determined at this time.
Okay, so we're up in the air. We don't know exactly what the outcome is. Alan says, what is a secret show? Very secret stuff. You can learn more at thenewsjunkie.com. Unlock uncensored secret shows for just $2.99 a month for audio, $5.99 for a full video subscription. You get lots of other benefits. Unlock the website and all the features, and support secret shows. So do that at thenewsjunkie.com. We're going to come back and wrap it up now.
To give long-term lasting allergy relief in 3 injections. That's right, allergy relief in 3 injections. No matter how long you've suffered, no matter what else you've tried, with 3 injections, you can experience relief from your allergies. Exact from Aspire Allergy and Sinus. Go to aspireallergy.com to book your appointment today. aspireallergy.com.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change-outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed a musty smell in your home? I hope not, because damp smells mean that you could have a crawl space problem. That's where Alpha Foundations comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your crawl space and get to the root cause of the problem. Schedule your free inspection with Alpha Foundations and visit alphafoundations.com/row.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We're back in the miller's yard, who now use True Green.
Their lawn started looking like a golf course, and PGA Tour golfers made it their favorite stop.
Get a PGA Tour quality lawn for as little as $1 a day at TrueGreen.com. Exclusions apply. See TrueGreen.com for details.
documenting and contributing to the decline in American culture. This
And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Tuesday. Thanks for being with us, friends. Tomorrow should be a fun show. Tomorrow we've got Fritz on the street. The showdown will continue there. Hey, if you're in town tonight, if you're here locally, you should go see Fritz for Fritz's Funhouse Trivia. Fritz's Funhouse Trivia is Tuesday nights at Cavo's, which if you're local, you probably know about. But go by there, have fun, be part of Fritz on the street. Maybe we'll even hear you on the show tomorrow. Couple of thank yous on the way out, and I hope more people will take to doing this. I'll try to reward them where we can, but I said 3 people I'll give the Fickle hats to if they donate 5 gifted subs, and they did. A lot of people did. Fizzy was the first with 5 gifted subs, and those have all been gobbled up. CNJ Forge, thank you. You were second with 5 gifted subs. There's a couple of those left. HD Afterbirth gifted 5 subs, which
that deserves
thank
a
you
hat.
for that. Just for the name, HD Afterbirth. And those are the 3 that are going to get the hats. Everybody else, though, I'll send you some stuff. And you get a magnet for every single subscription you gift, okay? If you listen to the show and you're like, I like to get a magnet. Every single person, I do them quarterly, that gifts secret shows gets a magnet. So if you gift 5, you're going to get 5 magnets. It's as easy as that. You can do that by going to thenewsjunkie.com and clicking the gift icon. But right now, there's a bunch of them up for you to claim. And it couldn't be easier. Like, I'm right here on the website. I'm on the homepage, thenewsjunkie.com. It says free gift subscriptions are available. Claim now. And then you can see all the available subscriptions that can get you behind the wall of secret shows. And we hope you do that. Go check it out over on the website. Okay, here we go. Thanks to everybody who did that. Very, very much. Thank you, Roadmap, Punisher 420, HD Afterbirth, CNJ Forge, and Brovilla and Fizzy. Appreciate you. And now we go over to the final dispatches. Yes, indeed. Hold on. Here we go. Right now.
These are the final dispatches, but Sean will probably only play one.
Delay. Couldn't find the right page there for a second, but here we are. Now let's get to the ones that are going to squeeze in before the end of the show today. Let's refresh. And here is... let's go to our friend Bro Villa. Here he goes.
Hey, what's up, junkies?
Hey, how you doing?
I don't know, dude. I know you're the first one to always say, wait for all the evidence to come in, and
it's usually smart.
Try not to speculate. I don't know. It is what it is. It sucks. You're not supposed to put your hands on people. You're not supposed to kill people.
He's talking about this track and field stabbing where Carmelo Anthony, the 17-year-old, stabbed this Austin teenager. His name's Austin, in the heart, and he ended up dying. And we're sort of like, are people already forming sides on
and
this?
If you're going to have a fight, man. You got a problem with the dude. I just think there's a history there because they play all kinds of sports together, right? And they're at a track meet together, so you know that they meet up in football, baseball, and all that other stuff. Especially,
yeah, I think, Bro Villa, to your point, I think that the schools obviously know each other, and there may be some rivalry between the schools. But as far as the interviews with the witnesses afterwards, they said that these 2 people did not know each other. That's what the early info said, that they were not familiar with one another, and they did not have a relationship prior to this event. That could change, but I think that's what we know so far. So we'll wait and see what else comes out because the story's starting to get quite a bit of attention. Here is Master Bruce talking about that.
What's up, news junkies? So if I'm hearing correctly, if someone puts their hands on you, you don't feel threatened and you don't feel the need to defend yourself, especially if you're sitting down and someone's towering over you and then puts their hands on you. You wouldn't feel threatened enough to try to end them?
No.
I'm just saying.
No, that's not the world we live in. And he says hashtag free Mello, like Carmelo Anthony, the guy who stabbed the other guy. I don't think that we need to be in a place where if somebody puts their hand on you, like put your hand on your shoulder or like touch you, that is a murdering. I think that's a very, very bad place to be in. I don't think that is a justified killing. I don't think that it's something that should be celebrated in any way. I do think there's sort of like a weird thing popping up where it's like, you disrespect me, I'll stab you, which, again, that's bad outcomes for everybody. We don't want kids at school stabbing each other and killing each other. There's enough problems already. That seems bad. Here is, some of these are long. Behaw says, I know a thing or two about bird law. Okay.
Hey, Sean. So about the bird thing.
I'm listening.
Here in the U.S., we have something called the Migratory Bird Treaty Act, which kind of prevents us from legally being able to interfere with nature and wildlife when it comes to most birds, unless it's like an invasive species.
All right.
Or something with an open hunting season, or like farm birds and peafowl. So good on you guys for not interrupting, because most of the time right now, the baby birds that you see hopping around are actually fledglings that are out of the nest on purpose, and they're just kind of learning how to navigate the world, and mom's somewhere watching close by. Okay, bye.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
She sounds like she knows what she's talking about.
You had Sean on board until you mentioned peafowl, and then any of those.
I'm not a
he's
fan
not
of the
a fan.
peafowl.
No.
Peacocks are not on my team, for sure. But I just thought when we saw that little birdie in the middle of the street and lady was going up and playing with him, I go, it's a bird. I thought, I think we should just let nature here. We shouldn't try to pick this thing up and bring it away. Because then I thought, like, what if I'm looking at this from such a one-sided perspective, and there's a mother and father watching for the bushes, and they go, watch, little Jimmy the bird is going to have his biggest day ever, and then some giant humans scoop up their kid and walk away with them. That seems bad. That doesn't seem like a good thing. Last dispatch. Here's Big Man, Texas 2.
Hey, guys, what I don't ever hear from anybody is that kid with the stabbing at the school, he intentionally sat with a weapon in another school's marked off area with their name on it.
Yeah, I don't know if he purposely sat under that tent to, like, try to make people mad, to try to trigger people. I don't know if there's any evidence of that either. I know that he was told, hey, this is the opposing team's tent. This is not where you're supposed to be. And that started the beef between the two kids. I think a lot of this is just people reading things into it. Right now, I don't see anything at all, though, that justifies somebody killing another person over the interaction. All right, here we go. Let's do the final dispatch. We already did the final dispatch. Let's do the stories that didn't make the cut today. An LAPD officer has been found guilty of murdering 3 in a fiery DUI crash. Oof. This 34-year-old former police officer in California admitted to driving over 150 miles per hour.
Jeez.
While under the influence of alcohol, causing a car accident that left a mother, father, and their teenage son dead. And
Who
this
do you even find in L.A. to get that stretch of road to get to up to 150?
Well, they should not have been driving that fast, obviously. The collision occurred shortly after he posted a video on social media with the hashtag, "Don't drink and drive." Then he got into his car, went 150 miles per hour after drinking, and ended up with these people dead. So big trouble there. Gene Hackman update. Gene Hackman's property showed that there was a rodent infestation. They were doing a hantavirus check here. What caused all this? They said there was a rodent infestation in the outbuildings and garages at their house. They found rodent feces, a live rodent, a dead rodent, and even a rodent nest. All the different types of rodent you might find. So they said that was a risk of hantavirus at the residence. And that's going to have to do it for today. It's time
they're
for us
also
to get
saying
out
that
of here.
nobody's claimed his body yet or something
Really?
like that. I thought I saw a headline about that where, like, the bodies
The
were still
kids?
kind of, yeah.
Damn.
Weird.
Oh,
kind of sad.
brutal. Yeah, I don't like that at all, but
all right.
okay.
Well, way to end the...
Yeah, what a down note,
was nice of you.
Anything else to tell us? Jesus. All right, here we go. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned for a Tuesday, April 15th, 2025. Today I Learned, the research shows that this movie is the funniest movie ever made.
I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
Airplane.
Airplane is correct. The funniest movie ever made, according to science, clocking in at 3 laughs per minute.
Whoa.
There was a whole thing of all the times in the movie where he goes, looks like I picked the wrong time to quit smoking. Looks like I picked the wrong time to quit drinking. And then he goes on until he says like amphetamines and sniffing glue and lots of jokes in that show. I don't know if it holds up, but I will tell you, there was a movie that was just like the Naked Gun movies that had Paul Rudd in it that had me dying, man. What's the Amy Poehler, Paul Rudd movie? Have you guys seen this or no?
No.
Amy Poehler, Paul Rudd. It's a slapstick comedy movie just like the Naked Gun movies. And there were so many scenes in that made me, it's childish as hell, but it was so funny.
They came together?
They came together. You never seen this?
No. Never even heard of this.
It's so bad and so good. It's just like one of those Naked Gun type movies, but it's like a rom-com.
Paul Rudd, Amy Poehler, Kobe Smulders.
From How I Met Your Mother, right?
Christopher Maloney, Bill Hader, Ellie Kemper, Ed Helms.
Wow.
Star-studded. Yeah, it is a star-studded affair. It's a pretty funny movie, actually, but very much slapstick if you're into that. I didn't think we made movies like this anymore, but that was 2014. And finally, on the way out, friends, here we go. Taylor and this band right here.
Show me the same.
The Rolling Stones. That's right. The Rolling Stones. Their drummer, Charlie Watts, he was sleeping one day.
Rip.
Mick Jagger rang his phone, and Mick Jagger said, drunk as hell, "Where's my drummer?" And Charlie Watts got suited up, got all ready to go, went to Mick Jagger's room, punched him square in the face, and said, "Don't ever call me your drummer again. You're my effing singer." That's the way it's going to be. And the two battled until Charlie died. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Josh, thanks. Great job, Josh.
Hey, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh.